Live.
Gee, we can check.
Make sure it's pulled up and it's coming up. Not dealing with any, audio, visual issues.
Northern California earthquake too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
5.6.
Brother got it pulled up. God. All right. On your hawk with dome, we're gonna face the east.
Giving all glory and honor to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakadash.
give double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who grew well and teaching us 100% truth. This is Philadelphia Great Millstone Plaintables Camp. Coming back today with the downfall, preaching the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, and the things that's going on in this world today. Because the Lord Yahweh Shai, he said that it's going to be the times where a lot of amazing things we're going to start seeing it towards the end of these days. What's going to start happening? Earthquakes, all in different places, tribulation, wars, rumors of wars. So let's get Matthew chapter 24.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?
You see, all these apostles from old always wanted to know, when is the end time? When is this kingdom, Esau's kingdom, is going to come to an end? And when Yahweh Shai is going to come and establish his kingdom.
Jump down to verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars.
You shall hear wars and rumors of wars. This is the time we're living in today. We're hearing rumors of wars. We're seeing different world wars with Babylon the Great over there in Iran, the small hats over there in Israel. They fighting all the Ishmaelites over there. Russia, China want to invade Taiwan. So we see in all these wars and rumors of wars.
It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
See you be not troubled, because all these things has to happen. You know, we praying for the downfall. We praying for the downfall of the earth. You know, we can't wait till this end comes for the government. Esau Edom, his kingdom to fall. But we know that there's the one major prophecy that has to take place right here and right now is the MOTB, which is the RFID chip. So we're not going to see the end until that RFID chip comes. It's going to come upon the whole entire earth, not just America, but the whole entire earth, where every person will have to take that chip in their right hand and forehead, and that chip that mark goes back to the rock.
Okay. Verse 7, it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Nations going to rise against nations, and kingdoms against kingdoms. And you're seeing that powerful nations on this earth, America, China, Russia, you know, they are powerful nations. And these smaller kingdoms like Iran, all of these places are starting to come together to fight. And the Lord said that he was going to bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Hawashaphat, which means the valley of decision. You see, so we know that the great millstone from the prophets, from Elder Apostle to her on down, is teaching us 100% truth, all prophecy of Yahweh Shai. You know, that's what great millstone is dealing with, is prophecy. And you're starting to see. Read that again.
Yeah, verse 7, Matthew 24, verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, there shall be famine, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
And what we've been watching, there's famine. Every time you turn around, you're seeing all these people in America talking about the prices. The prices going up, steak going up, bread is going up, eggs is going up. You know, just a few years ago, starting a few years up until now, they've been burning the chicken houses. They've been killing the cows.
Tariff wars. Yeah.
Huh?
Puerto Rico been experiencing a famine of receiving water, right?
Yep.
And infrastructure drought.
Drought is happening, and we seeing that. And see, the thing with Jake is they're not watching. They don't have their spiritual eyes on. The Lord didn't open their eyes. You know, like I saw. And this is the time, man. Like the elder said last week, the the elect may be already sealed. You know, so that's why we pray we are hopeful elect, because we actually can see these things, what Yahweh Shah was saying. But the rest of the world is blinded, man. They're not paying attention to what's going on out there. That we're in these last days. The pestilence going on, that's been started since the seed to the vid, you know? All these new diseases they coming out with. And a lot of them are man-made by the small hats, by the top banking families. You know? The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Murdochs, the Dupots, the Oppenheimers. These are the people who are creating this trouble just to bring this economy down. You know, just to bring in that new world order, which is going to be that micro-Seminole.
I got a screenshot of 9 catastrophic earthquakes that happened within the last year. The Philippines, Venezuela, Tonga, Japan, Indonesia, Vanuatu, Japan, Colombia, and Spain.
In Spain, yep.
Catastrophic. 7 or more magnitude that basically put the people in complexity. We talk about the people who are going to be in complexity, and you go to Colombia right now. They taking their relatives out of the rubble.
Yep. I saw this one where it was I'm telling you, it was sad because it was kind of sad because it was the northern tribe, and they was under this rubble, and they had a little baby like 3 years old, a mom, dad, they was all like in different places, but you could see the concrete above them with the metal, the twisted iron, and they was trapped. You know, it's like somebody was trying to tap, you know, but the sound was so dense. It's like, I don't think nobody could hear it. You know what I mean? Because it was so dark. Somebody had a phone. They had their light. They was able to see them. Like, not this man. They only had like 3 or 4 feet to move around in. And you figured, what, 2 days, 3 days without water, you know?
They sleeping on mattresses outside.
So we seeing all these pessimists, we're seeing the earthquakes in all these different places, man. This is what Yahweh Shai was telling the disciples then. You know, this is the time we're in now, dealing with this time. These are the last days we're in.
Revelation 1 verse 3. It says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein for the times at hand.
And this is the time at hand. And you know, again, great millstone teaches that you have to study to show yourself approved. That we have to learn these scriptures for this time we're coming into, man. This is Jacob's trouble. So we can, somebody give me that in Isaiah chapter 63, Isaiah 66 and 5. Because this is the time we're in right now where that's the only thing that's going to save us, man. We got to stand on these scriptures in order to 63. Time we're in. Come. But the time we're in right now, man, we need these scriptures to take us through this. Call upon the true name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and there's only begotten Son Yahweh Shah.
Jeremiah 30 verse 7. At last, that day is great. Jeremiah 30 verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with a child. It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
Right, and that's what we're going to see. But when Yahweh Shah, when he comes, when the judgment for this earth really kicks off, you're going to see men going to time like bitches. You know, you saw these people, you know, their strength is in their military. And the Lord, when he returns, Yahweh Shah comes, he's going to make them cry like women travailing. You know, travailing is talking about a woman giving birth.
This happening right now. You see dozens of videos of Venezuela and Colombia where people's loved ones is buried in the rubble, and they basically, grown men basically crying like babies. It just didn't hit America yet. The earthquakes in diverse places going to swallow up some of these cities that the earthquake never happened. Thousands of people going to perish. We don't feel it right now because we ain't see it.
Right.
But it's coming here.
Yep.
In Babylon, they said thus would violence to that great city be thrown down.
And
the whole world is going to watch this place fall apart from the scenes, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people perishing before those missiles.
Right. And they said as well, even with the with what's going over there in China, is happening here in America where, you know, they got all these Edomites starting to stand up against IPAC. You know, APAC is that APAC is that group of people who pushes the agenda for Israel, and they pay the politicians off on both sides, the Democrat and the Republican, and they small hats, and that's how Israel gets their money from America, is because they pay off the politicians, and the politicians vote to give all them billions and billions of dollars each year. Well, now the Americans are starting to, the Edomites are starting to protest against it, and they're getting beaten in the street by the cops, by the ICE. ICE is out there beating them and putting them in handcuffs, and they say we're becoming just like China. You know, they starting to become just like China.
Yeah, they passed an anti-STEM law, basically telling you that you don't have freedom of speech.
If
you're speaking out against
speaking
small
out
hats.
Right. Yep.
I got that definition. So you have the abbreviation AIPAC, or PAC, right? Which is American Strengthening the U.S.-Israel Partnership. Okay, you go into it, it says APAC, APAC and are 6.5 million members advocate for policies that strengthen the U.S. State of Israel partnership, help elect Democrat and Republicans who support the alliance.
Let's see, somebody get the Revelation 13 and 9, I believe it is. Because that's all goes hand in hand with this government, man. You can't trust the Edomites. You can't put your trust in Egypt's laws and whatnot. Egypt is America. We can't be out here voting and thinking that, you know, we're going to change presidents and all this is going to go away. We're going to suddenly be out of the war with Iran. The prices of gas is going to eventually go down, and everything is going to turn back lovely. Everything is going to be great again. It's not going to be great again, because Yahweh Shai, he has moved his hand to take this devil down. And see, for these niggas out here still want to vote for the midterms, this is what we say about that. Revelation 13, somebody got it?
Revelation 13, verse 9. It says, any man having ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yeah, so he who leads into captivity is going to go into captivity, because that's what's going to happen when Yahweh Shai returns. Once he take over his kingdom, all these governments, all these different nations, that's 18 nations on this planet Earth. All these nations, all 17 of them will go into captivity. Guess who's going to be the top of them? Esau. Esau-He, starting with the top banking families, the international banking family. Go down to 13, please.
Verse 13. Revelation 13 and verse 13.
Salaki, 11.
Revelation 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast come up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
That's why we held another beast come out of the earth, meaning that was when the Americans arose into power. And he had 2 horns like a what?
Like a lamb.
Like a lamb.
And he spake as a dragon.
He had 2 horns like a lamb because those are the 2 politics of America that runs America. So if you got APAC getting money from the small hats, right, and they're pushing the laws for Israel favor, then guess what? That's who runs America. That's who you voted for. No matter if you vote Democrat or you vote Republican.
Yeah, they dealing with both sides.
Both sides.
With the point. So they control them.
They control.
Right? That's one of that's a paramount Edomite faith. Alright, I think what is it? Maya Bauer. We speak about them not caring who make the laws. What's that quote?
He said, give me control over a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws.
Yeah, which you get that from, what's that? All the wars of bankers wars and stuff. And really the bankers, the elite banking families are funding all of these different wars, because America is at war, all right, even internally, right, within this domestic system right here, you know?
And I got some real quick. There's a quote credited to Kevin Alfred Strum, who said, if you want to know who rules over you, just look for who you are not allowed to criticize.
Right. And you know, if you speak anything as they speak about the anti-S, right, because we are shunned, right, as well, right, they what? They will destroy you, you know?
Yeah, the young Eve chick that spoke out and said free Palestine, working at Burger King, they fired her.
At Burger King, you know, which is a corporation. You know where that money going back. Okay, so that whole speaking, whatever freely, all right, what you think is without any consequence, not in these times. You got Esau coming down as a great dragon, you know, with them draconian measures and stuff, you know, where, you know, oh, I just said this and now I can't even access my bank accounts and stuff, right? You know, everybody, you know, socially don't want no association because they're definitely moving into with this social credit system, you know?
And it said they have 2 words like a lamb because they speak like a lamb when they try to pass that law. When they're in the in their own session, all these bills, they're gonna try to convince you that this law we're gonna pass if y'all voted in, it's gonna be for your benefit. But we know that benefit is only gonna be for who? For the international banking families, you know, the small hats. But so when they convince you that this law is gonna be, it's not gonna hurt you, it's gonna be for your benefit. Once you vote for it and give them the okay to pass it into law, it does what? It says it spake as a dragon. Because once it become a law, it's gonna be draconian law. Hard for us, small hats, slip the tongue. It'll be hard for us, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians, but it's going to be beneficial for the Edomites, beginning with the top big stuff. So this is
Goyim too. When you go from regular 6 that's Joe too. They don't have freedom to speak.
Right.
They're going to be getting thrown in and put concentration camps for speaking out against APAC and speaking out against the Snow. Because they look at them like they goy slop too.
And this is going to be the family of the word as well.
Got a precept. It's Isaiah 10:1, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and the right grievousness which they have prescribed. I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws.
Right. And them laws is what happens when the wicked are in control. The laws is only to benefit them. And they're grievous on us, on the Israelites, the ones at the bottom, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians. This is not our place to rest, man. We're over here for punishment, and our punishment is over with. You know, the Lord said that we have accomplished. We done drink from the cup. You know, it's their turn to drink from that cup. You know, so this is what we're seeing. This is what's happening right now. This is how it looks when you starting to see Esau's kingdom fall, like Yahweh Shah said. He said, I seen Satan fall like lightning. That was over 2,000 years ago. So ever since he was on this earth, Esau was losing his power, his kingdom. And that's how it looks in real time. And we can't, you want to give me Isaiah 33?
It's Isaiah chapter 33 in verse 6, which it reads, it says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time and the strength of salvation.
Right. And this is the time. We can't forget these words because this time is scary. You know? Even for the hopeful life, it's scary, but we know it's a must. We got to go through it. You know, we're not like these damn pork-eating Christians out here who believes into rapture and we're going to be taken up out of here before all of this happens. No, we know that we have to go through this straight. You know, we got to. This is being tried. We got to go through it as well, and we got to keep this.
Scripture says that the righteous scarcely be saved, or shall the ungodly sinner appear.
God, you see, scarcely be saved.
Saved.
scarcely be saved. You know, with a twinkling of an eye, like at the last, at the end of the 6th and right before the 7th, we're gonna be taken up out of here, man. Our body's gonna be changed, but we got to go through this, and we're happy to see this. That's why we say a ball with ball. You know, destruction for America, man. You can't wait till this fucking place become a smoke, fire, become that lake of fire.
Yeah, unlike these other groups, we actually go into the different afflictions that we're gonna face in these last times. We have we got the hour of temptation. We got your darkest hour. And we speak about those things. And it says about, read that again, the strength of our salvation. What's going to be the strength of our salvation? Because it's really going to be the application of this word. That's what we're going to have to operate off of. Through the spirit, power, mercy, grace of Yakalba Page. This is what we're going to be operating from the wisdom of the scriptures. This is how we're going to move. And we got to move strategically. Right? Even if we find ourselves in different scenarios, right, that are very burdensome and stressful, we're going to have to operate out of the wisdom of the Holy Scriptures. Read that again.
John, the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. It says, "In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time."
Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability. So what's going to keep us held down in the tough, difficult times that we are going to face, that the world itself is going to face, right? We're still going to operate off of a structure that is designed to deliver. That's why it says the strength of our salvation. Because while the rest of the world is operating off of lack of faith, carnality, impulse, fear, we're going to operate through the Holy Spirit off of the words that we've been taught, that have been ministered. Okay, Lord, we're putting our trust in you. Let your will be done. And this is where spiritual power is going to be administered. Divine intervention is going to take place. The strength of our salvation. Because why? Because we trust in Yakalba Page and in the words of Yakalba Page. What?
Can I give Revelation 3 and 10, please?
Yep.
This is the book of Revelation 3 and 10, and it reads, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth."
See, and that's what Paul was going into. We got to keep, because we read that one more time.
Yep, Revelation 3 and 10, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience."
See, we have kept the word of thy patience, because we have to be in that straight gate. We got to go through that straight gate. You know, keep the law, statutes, and commandments.
And if I can say too, the brother was bringing out that suffer, right? So it's not like an easy thing. It's not like we're just waiting on the Lord, you know, and having a great time. No, you're waiting patiently. And you're suffering in that patience, you know. You know, it's a difficult thing. The difficult thing that you're doing is that the Lord's going to
Yeah, the suffering that we go through and experience is just conditioning for what's about to come. But you gotta keep in consideration that the reason why these people are gonna primarily fail is because they haven't been properly conditioned spiritually. You know, they're accustomed to, you know, all of these fucking handouts, creature comforts. They're accustomed to these things. You know, this motherfucker for a while seemed like it's too big to fucking fail. And so when the carpet, you know, the proverbial carpet is pulled out from underneath them and everything fails, what do they have to fucking stand on? Nothing. You know, something else with the Spirit I've been stressing on is the fact that the Lord said when he comes, shall he find faith on the earth? Because right now, really the only ones that have the true faith is the hopeful elect. So even in them times, faith is going to be a scarcity. It's going to be a scarce thing. You're not going to find people calling on the Lord. They're going to be looking, but they're not going to be able to find it. That's what the scriptures say. They're going to be searching high and low. You're not going to hear those names but through the brethren of the elect, really. Who is really ministered to. But yet these people are going to search high and low, desperate to hear sound words.
right, precept. The book of 2nd Ezra 5:1, it says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, the signs, behold, the day shall come that they that dwell on the earth upon earth shall be taken in a great number. Right.
The ambulance not gonna be able to save you.
Exactly.
What's going on right now?
That's people counting on all these things.
You didn't even hear those sounds that day. That day you wouldn't even be hearing those sounds, man. Because they're gonna be protecting their own. They're gonna be trying to take care of their own.
Yeah, the ambulance can't even fucking save itself.
Exactly. Yep. That man is driving the ambulance with his own family and kids to save. You think he's gonna be out here for the fucking everyday person, just like the police officers, man?
Well, them EMTs ain't gonna be able to dress these kind of wounds.
Yep, exactly. There you go. Yep. There you go. Yeah, there ain't gonna be no trinket to fucking stop the bleeding and stop the fucking limbs flying up.
No gurney, no trinket,
Yeah.
no amount of gauze.
Yeah. No amount of CPR.
No,
Yeah.
Pumping, bro.
Yeah.
Electric, what's that thing?
Talking about the clear.
The defibrillators?
Defibrillators.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be able to electrify you back to life, man. That
Yeah.
life, that spirit gonna be none left.
Yeah. Remember when you do those classes and stuff like that, you know, you do before the first responders show up. You're supposed to do certain things before the first responder shows up, like you're supposed to do the chest compressions, right? You're supposed to get the defibrillator, right? Call the ambulance, but there ain't gonna be no ambulance to call, man.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be no ambulance to call.
Right, in America already, remember, there was already instances where that has happened. Yeah. They told you straight up, don't bother to call. Yeah, man.
Yep.
I know y'all remember that.
Yeah.
You couldn't get through.
It says, in the way of truth shall be hidden.
The way of truth shall be hidden. Right? And even now, remember, our words are really, we speaking to the masses, but it says if our gospel be hidden, it's saying to them that are lost. So how much more even then?
Yep. It says, in the land shall be barren of faith.
Woo!
That's the time they're doing 2/3, man.
And remember, without faith is it's impossible to
Please.
please how much you know shot. Remember, that's part of the law that we elected to receive. So when all hell is breaking loose, and the angels are getting busy, and them seals are broken loose, famine hits, pestilence hits, teeth of wild beasts, horrible apparitions, and all these things, all these calamities.
Spirits of vengeance.
Yeah, all the dead things that are going to be sent loose, the judgment's going to be sent forth.
Yeah.
The brothers that are going to be exempt are the ones that got faith, true faith. The thing that's been preserving us the whole time through the divinity of Yakalba Page, His divine will and His mercies. That's only been administered to a special class of individuals. And that's the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Out of these tribes right here, all right, beginning with the elect, and then you have that other peaceable multitude who is also the elect, family members, men, women, children that are gonna come into the fold. All right.
Got precept.
But that's how precious this truth is. Because right now it's not even easily attainable, but then it's going to be even more rare. It's virtually going to be inaccessible. Okay, say the elect. But through that faith, that's going to be the way out. Without it, man, there ain't going to be no other way. You're going to have to, basically, the brother quoted about the straight gate. Scripture say that narrow is the way, and few there be. But what? Wide and broad is the way to destruction, and many there be that go through. There's going to be a lot of people destroyed. Why? Because they didn't fear Yahweh Shai. That's the proper, having fear of Yahweh Shai is proper faith. Having this truth is the proper faith, knowing the prophecies. The scriptures say that a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. That mean we're cowering in the corner somewhere? No. That mean we're cowering somewhere. It means that we're literally in the Word through the Spirit, and that's hedging us. Believing on these words is keeping a hedge on us. Go ahead.
If I may add too, nor did they take heed when the time would take you,
Right.
the time, right? So like people are going to look to like knowledge, wisdom, being understanding, being a thing to save you. Now's the time to get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, because when you are asked out, when you are looking at the destruction right before your eyes, there's not going to be no time to get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The spirit's going to be closed. The spirit had already entered into the elect at that point. So when you're looking at the destruction falling, you're going to be looking, man, how do I save myself?
Right.
There's going to be no faith to enter into you. It's already been given up to all the elect at that point.
And to
They
those-
took heed at the time when
Right.
the time was given.
Exactly. That's a great point. Because to those that have been spiritual and faithful, when this whole C19 fucking was going on, brothers were willing to walk away from everything. It was plain to brothers what they had to do. If the exemption didn't work, right, they were just gonna fucking find something else to do. But to these people, they fucking were bugging out. What do? I can't leave my job. I got a family, I got kids, I got bills, right? They didn't want to lose their position. Some of these people were probably up for promotion, and they gave them a false, they gave them an ulterior motive. Basically, you either take this experimentation or you gotta get the hell out. And how many people folded under that pressure? We weren't fucking taken by that. Brothers weren't taken by that.
Yeah, they came with the exemption to me. I already went and applied for a job. And I already got the job. I was like, okay, I went through my trial. And other brothers did the same thing. You know?
Right, it
So,
was a test.
Yeah, it's just, remember, counsel was what helped us get through that, which is the wisdom, which is directed through men, how to, of course, we're going to the Christian Science.
Yep.
Right?
And you had false leaders out there telling people to take it, telling their congregation to take it. The ISUPK, the IURC, they said, all right, they said to take it, and then turned around and said not to take it. So what the hell do we do? Right? Over there at the IURC. That's what they got.
It was a misinterpretation, apparently. We interpreted it wrong.
The ISUPK, their leader, you know what? We go ahead and take it back to them. Our teachers didn't tell us to do none of that bullshit.
3 or 4, did they take a bunch of them or something like that? Or?
We were warning people not to. Remember Brothers' videos? Brothers' videos were getting struck crazy because of that medical disinformation campaign they had going.
Yep.
And the
We
scriptures.
were heavily on the never trust my enemy. Like, come on, if there was ever a time not to trust your enemy, this is it. Come on now.
Yeah, but now this asshole fucking Fauci was talking about I'm pleading the fifth all of that. You know, he had nothing to say. He had nothing to say to
Right.
all the millions of dollars that he fucking netted off of that shit.
Right.
Billion-
And they just, they just running game.
Yeah.
They just making it seem like something's being done to hold somebody accountable, while also basically performing a ritual.
Yep.
Yeah, because once you get a partner,
They really mocking y'all. They really fucking mocking y'all. Because nothing's gonna happen to him, and y'all still got screwed over and have all these different problems, and you were still expected to follow the program.
because once you get a
No
partner,
remorse.
you no longer have the right to plead the fifth. All those congressmen and senators knew that he didn't have the right to plead the fifth, but one of them spoke up and said something about it, but the rest of them remained silent. They didn't pressure him. They just let him say this shit 113 times. And he walked out scot-free after millions and hundreds of millions of people basically perishing today.
Yep.
That's the Esau Edom for you.
Yep.
What the scriptures talk about how you're going to be a fugitive and a vagabond.
Exactly. So you can't get justice.
Yeah, and the scriptures say how he holds himself not guilty.
Oh, yeah.
He'll fucking destroy you and say, well, you deserve it.
Yep.
You know? I was justified for whatever reason or another.
That goes like the scripture about earlier, right? Decrees or decree on righteousness, decrees on righteous grievances which they have prescribed, man.
Yeah,
that whole thing was just the grievousness and decrees that they fucking prescribed to the mass of people.
Yeah, 6 feet. Give scientific apparently.
The mask. Meanwhile, the science behind the mask, the concept of the touching the mask actually spread more fucking germs to the facial region than anything.
So they're only concerned about the C19. They're not concerned about anything else.
Right,
On that year, it was just about C19, no other diseases.
Yep.
Infections and viruses.
And you was breathing your own carbon dioxide.
Exactly. Yep.
So you killing yourself just breathing your own fucking breath.
And the thing is, it was more so when you were sick to not spread to other people. When they made everyone wear it, and like I said, if I'm healthy and I'm constantly adjusting my fucking mask, and I'm not gonna be washing my hands 24/7. So who knows what the hell I just? Because they were saying it could live on the surface for up to 5 days. So I'm working, and I touch the surface, and that fucking touch my nose. Now it's all what I mean. So they even showed, they even said that like wearing a mask, if you're healthy, is actually more damaging than fucking not wearing it.
Well, remember, it was mask, then it was.
Oh yeah,
no
they
mask,
didn't know what the
then
hell.
it was N95.
Yep.
Then it was just listen. As long as you cover your face, you're protecting yourself.
Yep.
They were all over the place.
They had no idea. Yeah, they had no idea.
Then it wasn't even just the surfaces that you touched. They went and they attacked your money.
Yep.
You had to have exact fucking change. See that it was all a test. It's all a test for what's about to come. Because what's about to come shortly, in the coming days, it is going to be way more evil, way more distressing. Okay? Brother read about when he spake as a dragon. You about ready to see the dragon really speak.
Right.
Because it's going to be full-blown draconian measures out here.
They already assembled a fucking massive police force, ICE.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically got.
Yeah, I seen them riding around on fucking 95.
Damn, man.
They got these gloves now that they touch you and shock you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Electric. So they plan on basically putting
And you're supposed to not move when you get shot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all still.
Involuntary fucking.
Put your hands behind your back when you get fucking shot. I got no control of my body right now.
Yeah, well, they be doing that. They kill you and still tell you to stop resisting. He's already dead.
Yeah, hands behind your back, and you're literally laid unconscious.
Still resisting.
Yeah.
That video, that old girl got punched by that cop, get arrested. So he told her, like, bro, I'm on the ground. I'm literally on the ground. Why you keep on punishing me? You Edomite. His hatred was getting to his head, man. He couldn't stop himself.
That's how they train. They train them to knock you unconscious.
Yep.
And when their back is against the wall, I was following orders. Like, you nut ass nigga, man. Esau got it.
You say Jeremiah 51, 58, right?
58. Jeremiah 51 and 9.
51 and 9.
9.
Yeah, when these police get training, remember they're told that their safety takes precedence over anybody else's. So that's why they come with a lot of hostility, because they perceive everything that moves as a threat to their well-being. That's what they're taught. Officer safety first. That's that holds a higher priority than protection. As a matter of fact, legally, this is on record. A brother could look this up. They have no obligation to protect you. This idea of defend and protect is a fucking lie. They have no legal obligation to protect the citizens or the public at all.
When I was younger, I used to watch the cowboy movies.
Exactly, brother. Their only, like the brother just said, their only obligation is to enforce policy, because it ain't even really law. It's fucking code. But we'll just, for all intents and purposes, to enforce the law.
Whatever the hell they say.
Yeah, whatever the hell they say.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to watch the cowboy movies. Most used to be up when they dead on wild. Meaning, if they kill you, they're not gonna get in trouble. So it's easier to just to kill you, they throw you in the back of the horse, they bring you in, then subdue you and put you in handcuffs, and then feed you on the way back to wherever they take you.
Yeah, they were so-called Christians too.
Yeah.
They're really Satan worship.
Yeah.
Little damn Christians. What scripture is that? Lynch a nigga, put him over fire, and him get up and down in fire until he died. Where is that in the scriptures? Esau was even never a Christian. He was just a liar.
Yeah, so like it is a song by Rage Against the Machine called "Killing in the Name of." One of the lyrics is, some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses.
Yeah, they're really secretly worship Satan.
Yep.
And they don't have any sense of biblical understanding.
Right.
They just use it as a weapon here and there, but inwardly they're just devils. They try to worship Satan.
Yeah.
They don't keep their own laws. Well, yes, Judah was man, 3/5 of a man. You know how you interpret that, you know? So if you're 3/5 of a man, that means you can murder like an animal. So where does the man part come in? Because the stuff you did to the tribes was worse than you do to the animals. So they're full of shit. They don't keep their own law.
That's why this place has to go down. That's why this place has to go down. It's full of blood. We're walking on the blood of the so-called Native American Indian, so-called Mexicans, so-called Reuben, the
Seminole Indians.
Judah.
Judah.
And Judah.
Yeah.
You know, this is all blood. This is all land traveling on the children of Israel blood.
Yeah, Salakia, just to back the brother up, that's what's written in Micah, the 2nd chapter.
Woe to the bloody city.
It
It is full of lies and robbery. And this place is full of robbery, blood, deceit.
That's how you like.
There's only one way to cleanse it.
Yeah, by shedding the blood of those who shed the blood, pursuant to our law. That's what's going to make it right.
First, I says prepare slaughter for the iniquity of their forefathers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so a great slaughter is going to come upon this country, this kingdom, but upon a very particular nation, which is Esau, Edom. But really all the nations, because they've had a hand
In our
to some
captivity.
degree of our captivity, they're going to pay too. They're not going to be exempt.
They're a confederacy with the main arbiter of our slavery. You know what I mean? They're in league with them.
Yep.
They're in league with Esau, Edom.
Yeah.
You know? And the world was made for our sakes anyway. So realistically,
Who's in league? Who's in league?
The other nations. The other nations are a confederacy with our main, capture being Esau, Edom.
And you got 2/3 Israel too.
Oh yeah.
They're degenerates. They need to get rid of too.
Yeah.
Because they enforce all the laws
Yep.
that Esau enforces.
100.
So
Yep.
they tell you, oh, go and do it, secure one, turn the cameras in. Jake do that.
Yep.
Right? Judah, Ephraim, Judah, Issachar, they do that. Well, wrong Esau. Right? They're guilty.
Yeah.
So when the punishment, when Esau get the punishment, they're gonna die to death of the uncircumcised, just like Esau is. The only difference is Jacob will come back into the kingdom.
And Scripture says no hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. A lot of our people are joining hand and league with Esau Edom too as well. That's right.
Yeah, because when the police officer, law enforcement, they like function like robots. So when they go out to the field, they have to force continuum and all that crap, and they escalate based upon what they feel inside and current circumstances. Right? Not one or the other, both. They're automatons, basically default to the training. Right? So you gotta one technique is to try to make them think, but you can get killed anyway. When you try to make them think and like pause and like use reason, you know, that could save your life, you know. But how Shah made it so that they don't lack compassion. And then if the Lord wanted to terrorize them or make them have compassion, and then they might commit suicide. So it's like get on drugs, die on potency. They don't have enough fiber to die, you know. So eventually, how Shah will pick Esau back. And the wicked Israelites back for their crimes. Now, when it comes to the prophets and the rest of the people, the Lord holds the prophets above all the rest of Israel. So we believe we are the prophets. So when the Lord touches us, it's the apple of his eye. There's a hierarchy. Right? They're going to pick from all the sins against the sons of Jacob, but there's a hierarchy of punishment. Right? The scriptures tell you what, Revelation 11 chapter. If any man should hurt them, fire proceed out of their mouth and destroy their enemies. Right? You got first, it even says first the Jew, then the Gentile. Right? There's a hierarchy. So Esau, he's basically right now he's living on borrowed time. Apostles have said that America's circling the drain. Right? Esau can't deal with the truth. They can only look at the N-word against basically Neanderthal type Israelites that don't understand the truth. They don't have knowledge of who they are. They don't understand that they're above Esau. And so when Esau looks down on you because you're a colored person, that your people are conquered by him, he get upset, but you should get upset. But you don't understand that him saying that proves that he's weak. You gotta use the N-word, you gotta say you're an immigrant or some type of transient or illegal. He's beneath you. All right? Because what this case says is wicked fleeth for no man pursueth. They don't got to mean your physical location, mean you try to change the argument. You try to diverge into a different fact or a lie. All right? The facts are the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. Esau, Edom, like the per capita argument. We're trying to get it back. Okay, the actual people, the number of people committed crimes. The actual number. Esau, Edom, right. They commit the most crimes. They're the so-called most populous people, right? Then it's per capita. Judah commit the, and they try to skew the records because most of them are stupid.
Yeah, I got a quick precept, especially when it comes to Israelites. And remember, America is known for being a dumb country. Like it's known for being very uneducated. Right? This is why you have fucking shows like Are You Smarter Than a Sixth Grader? Where you got people going around on the street asking people basic questions like capital cities.
And they can't answer. I don't want to keep on moving the camera every time I turn this. Turn this one? Yep.
They can't
the
tell
ball.
you what the mayor of the city, they can't tell you basic shit.
There we go.
He's talking about this mechanism.
Oh, no. The ball was just, that's what I'm trying to
Okay, you can move that any way you want.
Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yep, perfect.
Because thou hast, and here's the thing, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. See, you are a valuable asset to Yahweh Shemel Rashad if you one of his priests. Another word for priest is prophet. But that means that you have functionality, capability. That means that you have a sense of competency. You're able to understand his words and teach it and apply it. Jake don't got that. Jake can't even apply basic carnal knowledge, let alone spiritual knowledge. Jake is literally fucking retarded, man. Stupid. Like, Jake don't even have the capacity. The nigga will fucking push his car all around the fucking grocery store, but the moment he gets outside, this nigga don't even have the decency to put the fucking car in the cart return. He'll leave it in the fucking
parking lot. Yep.
I watched two niggas do that shit back to fucking back, and it blew my fucking mind. It shouldn't have.
And it hit somebody's car, right?
But it blew my fucking nigga and a black woman did that shit simultaneously. You mean to tell you pushed that cart the whole fucking way through the store, through the checkout line, but it was too much to go. An extra few fucking feet to put it back in the car return, nigga. Jake can't function on a basic fucking level to be decent, man. Let alone have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is so precious. They're destroyed for lack of knowledge. It's not because knowledge is not in abundance. We're at a high time where knowledge is easily accessible and readily available. But they choose. They're willingly ignorant at this point.
If I could add to that,
Go ahead.
And that just goes to show you that Jake is in a very sad state of affairs. They do not know how to function as a reasonable fucking individual. Yeah, and you might.
And that's the thing. Our people are not reasonable. Some brother said it. They're sottish. They're rebellious. They're literally rebellious. And now, if I would have said anything to any one of them, how do you think they would have reacted? They would have fucking. They would have acted like I did them wrong. Yeah. Turn around, fucking would have rendered me. Yeah. Acted like I was the problem. But anyway, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, if I could say, because the brother used an example, some people are like, oh, it's just a shopping cart. But you understand, there's actually a theory behind it. It's called the shopping cart theory or the ideology.
Oh shit.
And the point
that's right.
it tests your morality. It tests can you do something without being a negative, because there's no law or there's nothing that says that you have to put it back. You don't have to, but it's a test of morality. The problem is Jake don't have everyday morality. They don't have no morals. They don't have unless they're being fucking forced to do something that's right. And we all agree that you should, out of respect, put the fucking shopping cart back because of the repercussions that could lead to just leaving it the fuck out, right? Like hitting someone else's car. Jake don't typically give a fuck about anybody but themselves.
Well, it might be policy in the store. It might be policy.
Well, yeah, but they're not gonna ban you from the store. There's really, like I said, they're not gonna kick you from the store. I think there's a policy on whether or not you have to return it anyways. like I said, they're not gonna. I mean, stealing the shopping cart be another thing, right?
Which
But
they
but-
do.
but which they also do. They go to the damn
have
fucking
to
bus.
cl-
Go to the bus station with their shop. Yeah, with their
With
shopping
that
cart.
kid in there.
Yep. Which is even that's actually fucking even worse. But yeah, the shopping cart ideology or shopping cart test is whether or not you contest the person's morality if they would actually return it. And oftentimes our people don't. Our people are sottish children, man. Stiff-necked, hard-headed, and that's why when you try to correct them on something even as low as that, that's why when you correct them on the spiritual thing, they really get at you. That's why the scriptures talk about it's a knife that cut asunder, deeply dividing. You know, like just cuts the spirits up. But Jake, you know, like we'll get mad about anything that he's being corrected on.
Yeah, they're like overgrown children that can't respond to any sort of discipline.
Say that in the spirit. Well, Jake is the one that's pushing. Now, if you look on the internet, that you're still a child all over 25.
Okay. It's called
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's Jake that's saying that no children, and that includes up until 25. So if you a 30-year-old man, you talk to a 25-year-old woman, man, hey bro, something wrong with you, you need to be put under the jail or something. It's so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's pushing that bullshit, right? And then of course Jake is the trendsetter, so everybody was like, you know what? That's right, because when I was 25, I was, I didn't have my head on my shoulders yet. But when I was 21, I was making horrible decisions.
Yeah, because you're conditioned in the society to fucking behave that way.
Yeah, it's called when we talk about
infantization.
Yeah, infantization.
Basically, infantilization, right?
Where basically you remove the responsibility of anything from the said person because you believe that their brain is not fully developed, which this brother always goes into. Even a child up to 2 years old knows right from wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and that begins in the very early stages. Like, one of the first words that a child is able to identify and recognize is the word no.
Yeah.
And it sets a precedent. It's considered a boundary because a child has to develop something called impulse control. Okay? So, when you're putting up boundary, yes, no, that's actually developed and understood months into their development. And it starts to evolve to year 3 because you get into the so-called terrible twos. What's so terrible is because they're dealing with learning new skill and what they're capable of versus their impulse. What their impulse is telling you.
And then that boundary, if you say no, and then wanting to do it anyway, then when you enforce the laws of your house, which is all synonymous with the laws of the Lord too.
Remember these? Exactly. But these people are all full of shit. It's all just a way of basically excusing not only bad behavior, but not holding yourself accountable, or not allowing anybody else to be able to hold you accountable. So it all comes down to accountability. All right? When a child turns between 12 and 13, they were actually set to help the household. They were given responsibility. I know when I was 12 and 13 years old, I was helping my dad at the garage fucking change tires. At 12 and 13. I was moving vehicles at 12 and 13 years old on the lot. You don't have none of that discipline. People are so disconnected. The only thing they know how to do is fucking tap and nap and log on to social media. They're totally disconnected.
Even when it comes to what you said,
and that's all by design. This is a mental decline. You talk about how the brain ain't developed to 25, but you know what? You know what else is also in a fucking major, a major problem amongst these people? Depression, anxiety, all right? Bipolar disorders, mental health issues. These people aren't even fucking stable. So how far are you gonna kick that fucking can down the road? 30? Yeah, well, when I get 30, I'll get my life together.
Yeah, it's called. Children know how to act.
That's insane. If you're 30 years old, or if a man is even 25, and you don't have your shit together, you consider a fucking deadbeat. Okay? And they usually mainly cater that idea towards women for not holding women accountable. Remember, women get a pass in this society when it comes to anything. Okay? The man was fucking 25, 26 years old, and he don't have a fucking solid, stable fucking income. Ain't nobody messing with him. You know? So these people are freaking hypocrites. They're full of shit. And they know that shit ain't true.
Even when we talk about like the way that America is emphasizing people with lack of responsibility, or like I said, excuse to get out of things. This is why the Lord said, well, you will have no cloak for your sin. Because now you're being exposed for the things that you're doing wrong. But if you go into even when a child, especially when a child is up until 21.
Really, 25. People are pushing 25.
Yeah, that's the main one that I've seen up lately, up to 25. And they said, well, I typed it in. If they're not able to make decisions, are children able to manipulate their parents?
Right. That's another one that goes with this. Exactly.
You know, to manipulate somebody, you have to have a sense of right and wrong, and a sense of intelligence. There's a level of intelligence you have to play on the minds of people
to get your way. Yeah.
To get your way. So I typed in on chat. It says, "Do children know how to manipulate their parents?" And it said yes. But manipulation in children is always the same or as calculated as adults, which I disagree. You got children that are very calculated and know if I go to mom, she'll say yes, but if I go to dad on some bullshit, he'll say no. That's a very thought out, calculated decision making. You know, that's not nothing light. Right? People do that on a daily basis. If I go to this supervisor or something, he might be more lenient and say, "Oh, it's okay to do it," but I know not to do it around this supervisor because he's gonna be on my ass about it. It's the same decision making. Right? You can't hold somebody not accountable because the main thing right now is like it'd be like a woman. She might be in the teenage years or whatever, and she's like, "What is she doing at a fucking club that's for 21 and up?" Well, you're a dude. You should know the difference between somebody who's in their teens. She's at a club for people who are 21 and up. So how am I getting in trouble for talking to the person at a 21 and club? She's there, but she's not supposed to be there. You know, if somebody's in a place where they're not supposed to, and they got in because they looked the part, they may look over. You know,
or manipulated their way to get in the first place.
Exactly, but this kingdom doesn't go off of the logic of yes, you're able. People are able to manipulate, bro. You know, or deceive.
And remember, these people only do that when it comes to sensationalism and virtue signaling.
Yeah.
It doesn't apply anywhere else.
Yep.
Now, these people are standing up saying, "Well, 18 is too young to go to war." All right. They're not saying 21 is too young to drink. They're not saying 16 is too young to drive. All these life-altering decisions you can make, but that's the one thing that you can't do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I remember.
So they're full of shit. Okay, and they have there's a basically a mentality of when it's beneficial, right? They want their cake and they want to be able to eat it. So when it benefits them, they want to be able to play that card. When it's not beneficial, then they don't want to play that card. What about when children commit horrible, violent crimes and they have the accountability as an adult?
Right.
Does anybody say anything? No, they don't say nothing.
When these
motherfuckers kill somebody and they get charged as an adult, nobody has nothing to say. "Oh, we just a kid." No, they say, "Yep." So this society is all out of whack. It's nothing but confusion. It's nothing but confusion.
For it, it's John 15 and 22, because that goes into what the society promotes.
And remember, a lack of accountability, intelligence, etc., leads to an idle nature, which is destroying these people.
Yeah, wickedness.
Oh yeah.
That's why they want y'all immature. We were talking about earlier, a lack of understanding, a lack of knowledge, especially among our people. That's why our people are so fucking destroyed. The reason why these people are so destroyed is because they don't have proper understanding. And it's literally destroying them. Right?
This is in John 15 and 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. We're going to that word cloak. It says an excuse, a cover, or a hidden reason. And people like to give that excuse of, "Oh, I was young." When, like I said, we're going into even infants at a certain age know right from wrong. So how much more you've been on the planet for 15 years, for 18 years, for 21 years? You know right from wrong. It's just now that you're trying to give an alleged reason to get away with your wickedness. But at the end of the day, we know the Lord is not going to allow you to escape guilty. You know? But that's the main thing. When Scripture say when man doesn't get judged expediently, you know, they continue to do evil on the earth. But
It's fully said in them. To do wicked, yeah.
You know? So now that we're coming into a time, it's going to come a time where decisions that you make is going to cause you to be judged immediately. And it's going to be the worst possible judgment you can think of. You know? They say we got earthquakes in diverse places. They didn't expect an earthquake. Just doing all types of wickedness, buildings falling on top of your head. What was that one video the brother showed of the woman? She's actively still getting crushed because it's slowly coming down on her. But you can see her feet, and on the other side is the camera, and she's slowly dying. You know, these are judgments that's going to come upon our people for not taking heed unto the word, because you're being...
Yeah, she was being basically crushed simultaneously while suffocating.
Yeah, slow motion.
So that's a horrific, painful death.
And then the Lord gives you time to reflect on the things that you've done. Yeah. This is why we say, well, through the fear of Yakalba Page, we persuade men. You know, and women that listen. When you hear these words and know the judgments of the Lord, you should fear Yakalba Page. Before the camera started, we was like talking about Indonesia and earthquakes. Indonesia is known for the past 20 years that I've known to be hit with earthquakes and tsunamis, typhoons, and not just any type. They're always at a high level, and they're always getting hit back to back. Why? For the wickedness that they're doing. So how much more America when the Lord, you know, finally lets that tidal wave of judgment. You know,
well, even this destruction is compared to or symbolically represented as an earthquake. You know, when the missiles
shaking like a drunkard.
Earth to what? Real to and fro.
Like a drunkard, right?
It says in the earthquake, in the book of Revelation, in the earthquake was what killed 7,000 men or slain, meaning completed amount of individuals whom the Lord deemed to be judged in that way was destroyed by those thermonuclear missiles. Right? That destructive wind.
Was the men Lord said went to the captivity, to the sword, you know, to the famine, to the famine.
So that's how you know when an earthquake happens, it's not some sort of just natural phenomenon. They try to undermine these different tempests and storms and calamities as if it's just simple. Yeah, if it's just Mother Nature doing her thing. That's what they say, right? That bullshit. Because they're trying to desensitize you from what's really going on. The Lord is causing the earth to be active because it's an indication of where we're at in biblical prophecy.
That's right.
And the only ones that are minding that are the hopeful elect, the believers. Okay? Because these are serious signs. Somebody who's not paying attention is undermining it, okay, to their own hurt and destruction. So, it's just another day. Of course it's an earthquake. Of course. There's and they try to rationalize it any way that they will. But in reality, the Lord is showing you He's near.
Just present.
And greater judgment is about to unfold and be unleashed. You know? But that's your problem. You're not paying attention. Okay? The Lord sent His men before you to warn you of these things, and you didn't take heed to the warning. So it's on you. That said, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Do you want to continue in that fucking ignorance, you won't get what's coming to you. It's going to be hard, terrible, painful, agonizing, pain, death, destruction, judgment, man. Go ahead.
This is Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. There's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna be going on Earth.
As a matter of fact, I think Spain just had a solar eclipse. Was it? Yeah,
It was Portugal. Portugal.
Let somebody look up what the most recent. I thought it was Spain.
Yeah.
Portugal.
Yeah,
It might have been able to be seen from different locations too.
Yeah, the solar eclipse.
The
The
solar
total,
eclipse.
total solar eclipse.
So the brother just read about the signs.
Yeah, yeah.
The totality, path of totality.
Yeah.
That was, you know, Madrid, Barcelona.
Right, Con, exactly.
Yeah, they.
Oh, wait. It says on August 12, 2026.
Yep.
Ibiza.
Like the new moon.
Yep, it was Spain. It was Spain. Experienced a rare total solar eclipse at sunset.
Oh, wait. A rare
Total solar eclipse at
the Lord
sunset.
showed earthquake here, eclipse here, rumor of war here. All right, contention here. This thing going on here. You know, the Lord showing you each and every one. Remember, the scriptures say in the book of Zephaniah, I think it's Zephaniah, that the just Lord is in the midst thereof. Every day He bringeth His judgment to light. See?
Devil's horns.
Because it was known in the ancient world, even with our with the northern kingdom that was over here, they knew when certain signs happened in the heavens that something was probably going to happen. Because what? We go back to the people of the scriptures. The Lord has certain astronomical events, those for times, or for seasons, for signs. So when you have this, it's no coincidence that these things were happening. Solar eclipse. You said it was a total solar eclipse.
Yeah, total.
Total solar eclipse, and all of a sudden then the earthquake happens. You know? And they'll expect these things that when they start being rapid, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, different astronomical alignments and stuff, the Lord is using that to tell you what time that we're living in and expect some type of judgment to happen right after. Just said fearful sights, all right? Just things that are out the normal. I was watching a video of a man watching the CCC camera in a hotel, and a woman, looked like a northern tribe woman, ran out her room and was darting down the hallway into the elevator, tapping the elevator like this, and nobody came out her room. But the room door closed, and it looked like a figure was just walking behind her as she was running down the hallway. And she's trying to close the elevator door, and she's like turning the other way, shaking, and nothing's there. He's like, what the fuck is going on? The Lord's gonna have fearful sights pop up for people, and those people may be the only ones be able to see it. You know, on some poltergeist type, paranormal activities type stuff, right? You know, and that's coming to America because it happened in Egypt. It's gonna happen how much more in the last hurrah of the Lord here in America. You know?
There was a video circulating around in the chat where a woman was going to sleep at night.
Yep.
She felt like she was choking, coughing. She couldn't breathe. They put the infrared on her, and they showed like a black spirit basically covering over the top of her mouth. Those spirits are already here.
Yeah, these people ain't ready, man. They're not ready for the truth, man.
Yeah. Mind you, the Lord has prepared us. Different brothers always talk about their examples of certain spirits maybe fuck with you. As some brothers in the South would say, you have the witch that rides you and stuff that holds you down and shit. All of these are just spirits. Okay?
I had a situation this week.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't actually have sleep paralysis. What happened was you could fucking sense that a demon was in the fucking room. Because I'm laying there trying to sleep. I'm trying to sleep, but I can't get comfortable. And I'm not worried about nothing. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired enough to go to sleep. But I could just sense it. And I fucking could just feel it. It's the energy's off. You fucking feel it. You know? And I got mad, just like, man, fucking go away already. Get the fuck out of here. You know? And then eventually I finally was able to go to sleep, and I didn't fuck with it. You know? But the moment I went to go lay my head down, I could feel the shit walk right in the room. I could fucking feel it. Cause I went to go turn, and I had to turn right back around. And I'm like, oh, here the fuck we go. Here we go.
It happened to me the other day too. I felt the presence in my room, and I told her, I was like, no matter what you do, you're not gonna lose faith.
Yeah, that's right.
You can take my life, you're not gonna lose faith.
Yeah, that happened. I had happened to me recently, maybe like last month, last dwelling.
There's a brother there too.
I felt the energy. I went to sleep. I was on my stomach. And demon held me down. And then I was doing the different rebukes in the Hebrew.
Yeah.
When I was calling, doing the rebukes in the Hebrew, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, wait, I understand what the demon is doing. The demon was trying to doubt the timing of the Lord deliverance. Like trying to make me deliver, like, oh, this is supposed to happen at this time. The Lord can have you endure all type of different spirits that'll hold you down. And of course, it'll be what? To build your faith. Because I was like, I know I'm going to keep calling on the Lord, and of course then his deliverance is going to come.
That's right.
You know, so that you have to also understand what these demons are actually doing. You know, and that's why you have your relationship with Yakalba Page. By drawing nigh to him.
That's it.
You know, resist Satan and submit to the Lord. Yeah, he shall flee.
They also try to get you fear.
Yep, that's what it is.
Fear, then you don't have faith.
Yeah.
Fear leads to doubt. That's why. You know, when you start fearing the wrong things, it ultimately ends up leading to doubt. That's why you got to use your spiritual tools.
Yep.
Prayer, God rebuke. You might anoint yourself. You anoint your house, right? You burn the sage and the Palo Santo. You got to perform a priestly ritual on the right-hand side, basically.
That takes faith in itself that those things are going to work. To the Spirit, you call it upon the name of the Lord. This is all a training simulation for the times that come into. Because like brothers always say, if the average person, if the Lord allowed the average human in America to experience what brothers is going through on a daily basis, they would go totally fucking insane, man. All right, the fact that the Lord has have us insight of why certain things happen to us, you know, and then give us comfort through the scriptures, you know, that's what keeps us sane. A normal person, they're wondering why. Damn, I just placed my shit right here. Go to fucking turn around or do something later, you come back to it, this shit's not there, it's on the other side of the fucking room or some shit. You know? Or you know, whatever demon might be fucking with you and you're sleeping, grabbing your shoulder, and you turn around and nothing's fucking there. That's gonna spook people out, right? That's why when the Lord said he's gonna bring these calamities in the Wisdom of Solomon 17, he said what? That the unnurtured souls have erred. A nurtured soul is those that are taking heed to the scriptures. That's the elect. You know, that's a nurtured soul that when these things come upon them, they're not going to fear. They're going to call upon the name of the Lord and receive salvation out of those situations. But an unnurtured soul, they're going to, it's going to have the scripture say their hearts melt.
And they're going to wither away.
That's why
mental breakdown.
That's why brothers should, you know, just as a something to take heed to. You know, an exhortation. One of the first things you want to do when you wake up is show a form of gratitude. You know, thank the Lord, you know, for the different gifts he's given you for life, his breath of life primarily, of course, the relationship that you had, the fact that you call on his names. You know, go down the list, but put up them prayers. And then, I'll tell you to take it a step further through the Spirit. Before you go to sleep at night and lay your head down, you should say a prayer, man. Let the Lord protect you. Sure. Because you never know. And that's a sign of fearing Yakalba Page. Showing the Lord that you need it. And we do need it, that's the thing. So you should exercise that.
That's the spirit, because this morning, you know, I got a new journal and just, you know, self-journaling. You know, write down your thoughts, write down your prayers, write down what you need to do. And like you just said, gratitude is really, really helpful, man. It calms your spirit. And it also makes you appreciate more than for things that you never even thought, you know, appreciated. Like your bed, the ceiling, shit, the fucking window, you know, the computer that works, everything, man. So, yeah, man. So that's a really good, helpful, you know, tool, man. It's being gratitude, being grateful.
We really got everything because of Yakalba Page. We didn't get this truth on our own or anything. Anything that we've obtained in this life, the Lord either gave it to us or took it away. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's really of Yakalba Page. So it's something to actively, because I know brothers do acknowledge it, but it's something to actively, consciously be more aware of, you know? Make it more present. Don't let it just be a distant thought in the back of your mind. Bring that thought to the forefront and then act on it.
Yeah, quickly, so this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 7 and 8. It says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. So those mental breakdowns. It's when we're seeing it on the brothers post up videos. I know the elder Manasseh-made always used to go into it. Show videos of the majority of our women, Israelite women, having mental breakdowns, but you're having the men now screaming at the camera, you know, going crazy on camera, recording. Mind you, to do all that, you had to prop the camera up.
Right. As they start crying.
Start recording, scream to your top of your lungs, stop, undo, undo the recording
Right.
and then fucking post it and shit. Like, these people are not mentally well.
Right.
Are not mentally well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's somebody
You
said
might
that.
have to do it a couple of times too, because the stream wasn't fucking right.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody.
I couldn't, man. If I did that shit, I couldn't take myself fucking serious. Can you imagine watching yourself back doing that shit? Say, you know what? I'm gonna post that. So everybody can see. These people have no fucking no sense of anything, really.
shame.
Yeah, no shame.
Somebody said on TikTok, the passenger seat is the new podcast. Cause everybody on the passenger seat crying about what's happening, why they not getting a job, why they money fucked up, why they car fucked up. So it's just like the passenger seat is the new therapy class, man.
That's why I said, look, all hands and all. I read what it says. Verse 7, it says, in every man's heart, which means your mind, shall melt. So those mental breakdowns, people is going to be at an all-time high. This is verse 8. It says, and they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. Now, when you look up this word sorrows, it goes into pain of body, mind, and soul. So people are literally vexed, not only physically, but mentally vexed. You know, their thoughts are consuming them. Okay, you know, which normal medicines would work are not working anymore. Your body's what's the term they use when your body goes? Yeah, resistance is gaining resistance to it. You know, so what? Now you got to go a higher dosage. There's certain dosages that the doctor can't give you over, so now you're just immune to those psychiatric drugs. And the Lord is going to allow you to spiral off of it, right? Okay? It says, they shall be in pain as women that travaileth. They shall be amazed on one another, their faces as flames. Behold, the day of Yakalba Page shall come cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So 2/3 of our people are going to get it the worst. I know, like the elder brother always says, like, the Lord's really going to jack up Jake, man. Everybody's going to get it, because the nation of Israel is really going to get it, because we've been out here for collectively over time with our apostles and their teachers over 60 years. So yeah, what's that? Almost like 3 generations, or you know, almost 2 to 3 generations of men of the Lord being out there to warn you of what's going to happen. You have to listen. So what's going to the foot of your ass sideways, man?
I got this.
Yeah, I just wanted to land back real quick off these different mental health disorders that are going on out there. I don't know if brothers notice, we do share it, so it's a term called hypochondria. Anybody know what a hypochondriac is?
No.
I heard of that before. It's familiar.
Hypochondriac is basically an unhealthy obsession going to be seen by a physician.
Oh, yep.
Constantly think there's something wrong.
Constantly think they sick. Yep.
You have literal people that as soon as they feel a sensation, they have to go run into that hospital, bro.
Mothers do that to their kids, so they can take their kids to the doctor.
God,
Yep.
I felt
I
a
just want to get them
sensation,
checked out.
Yeah.
you know?
And
They
they
gotta go
call
right to the
911.
hospital, man. They obsessed with being seen by a physician just for them to tell them, no, you're okay.
Right.
They're obsessed. I'm going to read the definition that they gave. It says, an informal term for somebody experiencing an excessive, persistent worry about having a serious, undiagnosed medical illness. Mind you, there's no actual effect for the cause. It's just a sensation that they had that I gotta go to the doctor. Not somebody who's actually having a genuine medical health crisis or medical issue. It's just a sensation that they get, and they gotta go to the doctor.
Kind of like shell shock.
No?
In a way.
Constant searching online, medical sites for symptom matching. frequently visiting doctors for reassurance or entirely avoiding medical care out of fear. That's another thing.
Reset bars on.
Y'all get this. This is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart. This is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." So if you're not able to flee the mindset of Babylon the Great, the other philosophies that it comes up with, right? These different false religions and such, it's going to destroy you. And it says, even with a sore destruction. So just examples, the type of judgment that the brothers have been going into, I mean, it's things that's only going to get worse and worse and worse. All right, it's not just going to happen, from afar off, right? These other places in the world, but it's coming to Babylon more and more in a very great way. And the greatest destruction, the greatest judgment is coming to Babylon. All right.
I got no precept?
Yeah, you got people complaining about stuff. They're not familiar with the precepts. Here, Proverbs 22. And, 2 and 3. So the rich and the poor meet together. Yahweh is the maker of them all. The prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. If you see disturbance in the marketplace, you gotta make adjustments. Continue to do the same thing. Believe you're going to profit. Continue to profit the same thing when you're working. So the prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself. But the simple pass on and are punished. Right? So by humility and the fear of Yahweh are riches, honor, and life. So if you want some type of success, you gotta know what the scriptures say. The scriptures are going to deliver from a lot of evil, but the thing is, a lot of you guys, you don't follow the scriptures. You only follow the scriptures on certain things. The more you become aware of what the wisdom that was taught by the ancestors are, the more successful. Right? The more of acceptance of our current situation. Instead of being full of complaints and stupidity, to be full of action and change for the better. Right? Complain about shit you can't change. About to complain about the things you can change, and then act, do something about circumstances.
I got a precept for you. There's a meme that I seen. Well, not a meme, it's a little image I seen a while back. It says, "Do you have a problem? Yes or no." You follow it down. It's like, "Yes, I have a problem. Can you fix it? Yes or no." If you can fix it, then why worry? If you can't fix it, why worry? If you have no problem, why worry, right? So the things that you can fix, you fix. The things you can't fix, don't worry about it. You can't.
Well, I'll add on to that. Whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. Because Joshua 1:8 says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, and to the best of our ability to do that. For then shalt thou make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." So yes, you can improve by applying this wisdom. The fullness of that is ultimately going to be when the Lord gives us the ultimate healing, and we're no longer in these chains of darkness where we've got these limitations put on us. Right now, we got limitations put on us. We're under the curses. But there's coming a time where we're going to have total and complete success. Yeah, we're going to have our enemies underfoot. They're going to serve and rule us. Our kingdom is going to be of complete righteousness. We're going to be able to think beyond the way that we do now. But with this knowledge that we have already, we're able to do that. All right? We're able to be beyond certain things, habits, behaviors. You can improve. But the ultimate improvement is coming when that ultimate healing arrives. We've already begun the healing process with the word. The veil's been lifted. Okay? So we should be able to see through different things. Also, brothers already mentioned it, I believe, in the spirit, but whenever we do come under calamity or distress or certain burdens, that is for your spiritual growth. What that ultimately is going to do is cause you to draw closer to your power. Okay? And the Lord is going to cause you to grow through those different situations. The Lord is going to teach you how to adapt under certain scenarios. And even then, that is very beneficial for you. When you gain, it can be success, and when you lose, it can be success. It's a matter of perspective, because it's not for nothing. Okay? But your mindset has to change. Your mindset has to evolve. You have to cultivate the way that you perceive things.
Quick precept for that.
Hold up 1 second, brother. So down here got something to bring up real quick, then we'll come down. Wait, we finish.
There's two of them real fast. Lord Yahushua speaking is Luke 18:1. He spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought to always to pray and not to faint.
Men ought to always pray.
The next one is
And not faint. And not faint. Get the word faint, please. Yeah, that's like a spiritual rejuvenation when you pray, because you know that you're casting that care or that burden upon the Lord, who put that situation upon you in the first place. So once you pray, you should have the confidence that the Lord not only heard your prayer, but is actively taking care of that situation. And it could be either you got to endure for a while, or the Lord might just remove it from you altogether, in a short time. But it all comes down to the will of the Lord, and you got to align. When you go through these different things, you got to align yourself with the will of Yakalba Page. Get into the habit of reminding yourself that it's the Lord's will, not yours. Not everything is necessarily an inconvenience, and it might not necessarily be working against you either. It might be working for you.
For you, yeah.
So again, it's all about cultivating the proper mindset. You got to remain spiritual, but without this wisdom and this understanding, it's going to be very hard for you to come to that understanding and adapt. Don't kick against the pricks. The Lord is trying to instruct us in different ways, man. Right? So the different burdens and trials, even when it comes to improving the situation, you got to remember to be balanced. And not everything is for every brother either. You got one brother, he decides he wants to get a different job, or he wants to enter into a new profession, so he gets the education that's needed or required in order to move into that profession. And some brothers it might not be required. Everything's about Yakalba Page, daily bread. You got to check those boxes. And that don't mean you need to limit yourself, but you also don't need to get entangled with the affairs of this life either. So there's a balance. It all depends on that particular brother and his walk. But you have to make those. You have to be able to mature to make those types of decisions.
This is the word faint in that verse, Luke 18:1. It says the faint not. The word faint in the Greek is ektakeo. It says faint not. It says to be utterly spiritless. So to be wearied out or exhausted. It says to be bad or weak. Implications to fail in the heart and mind.
Yeah, but so that's the thing. The scriptures say that spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. It didn't say the spirit. Now you might be down, you might be a little low, but this is why the Lord gave us very specific tools to use, all right, to elevate. Gave us the brotherhood, gave us the word, gave us prayer, gave us fasting. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah.
There is, and the Lord told us this, that not only is fasting a discipline, it is a spiritual reset. Okay? It is a spiritual reset. When you are in the mode of afflicting yourself and you're praying, you make yourself vulnerable to Yakalba Page. That the Lord gave us that tool to tap more into the spirit. And men that came before us did that to achieve certain things. Either overcome this flesh, a demon, or for greater insight. The thing that they did in order to achieve that was fasting. In addition to prayer, right? In order to become strong, you need to go through that
weakness,
that breaking down.
Breaking down, yeah.
Because even when the body is breaking down, it goes through that autophagy or ketosis when it enters that state, and it's eating up the fat, it's recycling the cells. The body's actually breaking itself down to do a what? To do a reset. So spiritually, when you do that, you're doing a reset.
It goes into humbling yourself.
Yeah, there's a lot in
your desires, your fleshly desires inside.
Right, it's a spiritual obedience.
It's like how you would work, your woman, she really wants something or needs something, she should, because we're like the women of the Lord, she should put whatever pride or whatever she's having to the side and come to you and plead to you and say that I need you this. And that's what when we're fasting, we're really putting everything else to the side and focusing on the Lord and what His will is.
Yeah, it's a full submission to Yakalba Page, right? That's really what you're doing. And that's what the scriptures say. You got to submit yourself. As the wives are supposed to submit to their husbands, we the bride and the woman of the Lord. So the ultimate humbling, which what does the word humble mean? To afflict.
So that's why it says, draw nigh unto Yakalba Page, and He shall draw nigh unto you. So the Lord is not going to just get closer to you just because. You have to humble yourself and get close to Him for Him to get close to you.
Yeah. So to conclude, when you completely deny yourself like that, the Lord recognizes that, and the Lord set that functionality up in the first place. Okay.
Go back to this. It says to pray,
so not to faint, right?
Not to faint. Going into the root word, because it's ekakeo, but the root word goes with kakeo. It says to faint of a bad nature in the mode of thinking, feeling, or acting base, wrong, or wickedly. So when you faint or start to doubt in the Lord counts that as wickedness, man.
Right.
You ain't supposed to be doubting. What are you doubting for? You know, because you know the Lord is not a man that He shall lie. He said He's going to deliver. You gotta have the expectation. You know. Now you're calling the Lord a liar. You know. And you know that you can't do that. The Lord is not mocked at the end of this. So when you have doubts, you need to rebuke those doubts and refreshing yourself back into what the Lord has promised.
Yeah, doubt separates you from God by Himself. Believe in faith draws you closer.
That's right. The doubt leads to. That's why it's talking about fret not in any wise to do evil. That word fret means to worry so much that you start to doubt and commit wickedness. Because doubt just leads to you like, a doubt is going to lead a lot of people to majority of our people taking the RFID chip.
Yeah, well, that's the scripture. That's the scripture. Make not haste in time of trouble. Because that's what people are going to do. They're going to operate off of impulse, fear, the quick solution, right? Whatever appeases those conditions, they're going to subject themselves to. Again, that goes back to really a lack of faith, a lack of fear in Yakalba Page, a lack of integrity.
That's why it says here, is that the kakeo part, it says the mode of thinking, so we know this word mode real fast. It says mode. It says a way or manner in which something occurs or expresses. So what, when you start to think, you're going to express certain thoughts, certain feelings.
It was delayed the whole time.
You know? It's going to be in your mind, you're going to feel some way about it, and you're going to act. Well, I haven't eaten in 4 days. My kids are starving.
Right. Well, I may add to your point real quick. Remember, whatever you internalize, you externalize. Which is something that Elder Ayathan brought out a long time ago. Whatever behavior you have or do, before it ever became an action, it was first a thought. It was a thought. And you can either concede to that thought, depending on the context of the thought.
Feeling, acting based, wrongly, or wickedly. So when you that kale, you're faint-hearted. That's why the Lord said, "What to pray always and faint not." So don't basically fall into the modes of thinking wickedly, feeling that wicked thought, acting upon them. You're supposed to rebuke those things, and part of that is continue to pray. No matter what, because you got individuals that will pray. Well, I prayed on it, let it happen. So I'm just gonna do what what I need to do. You're gonna have that spirit out here. It's like, well, I waited on the Lord.
So you got to continue to wait. Sometimes that's how the Lord answers you. The scriptures say to patiently endure. So there's never a time where it's like, okay, you got to stop. No, you got to wait patiently on the Lord. We're not waiting on things based upon our timeline, but rather the Heavenly Father's through His Son. We're not exempt. Yahushua cannot remove that covenant. Though he prayed about it 3 separate times. At the end of the day, his thought process was still only let thine will be done. So when we go through situations like that, we got to remind ourselves that it's based upon the Heavenly Father's will. It's not our own will. And that takes a certain mental and spiritual fortitude to reinforce. It's not cave given to the moment. It is a continual practice, right?
Talking to the Lord is not always pleasant to me. I was trying to pray about it. He was sweating blood. It wasn't always going to be pleasant to your flesh. But it was a need. It was a need be, for you to ascend, basically. So it's the same thing that's going to happen. These times, the certain things that we're going to go through. But we don't want to go through that shit.
That should be, I have no choice.
Yeah.
It's either basically the Heavenly Father's way, the highway. And the highway is not death. Yeah. That's that broad way we were talking about earlier. The highway. And then with women, that's death without women.
It's going AWOL. Going AWOL is you don't want a dishonorable discharge, man. You be to the spirit realm because you disobeyed the Lord. You want an honorable discharge, so if you got sent to the spirit realm because you did what the Lord at the end of your course.
Right, you gotta still have this
Okay.
You said you had to push stuff down this way?
I'd like to get a definition for the word. You dealt with time. Now, when you go into the etymology word for time, it simply means to die.
Yep.
Then decipher, change. It's 12 o'clock, I gotta do this. It's 7 o'clock, I gotta do this. When we're on the Lord's time, then that what he has set up, we have to follow those instructions. Okay, all right, this is the time to do it, that time to this time. Which is prophecy.
Exactly.
Jeremiah chapter 54, verse 6.
Yeah, like a clock is not telling time. A clock is an instrument used to measure. And the Holy Scriptures is also what? A measure, exactly, a measuring stick. It says, measure thou the times diligently. It's an instrument to let us know where we're at and then how to conduct ourselves. What manner of persons ought we to be in all things conversation with God. And everything that aligns with that spirit. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 51:6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul.
Right. This is the time. This is the time frame that the brothers was putting up. This time right now, Babylon's about to be destroyed. People are going to like the Lord is calling them back in. All these concepts of living this glorious life and trying to be rich instead of praying, fasting, closer to the Lord. And I'm talking about great. Hell with the rest of the nation. We're not talking about like Christians saying everybody that was saved. Now we're only dealing with the so-called Negro, Latino, ladies and that.
And the elect.
Of the elect.
I mean, we teach that all Israel will inevitably be saved, but on this side, only the elect. The Lord only deals with the elect. Don't look at us like, oh wow. But what about the rest of it? The Lord ain't dealing with the rest of the nation right now. He's only concerned with the elect. Take it up with the Most High.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
Right, because this judgment coming to America. America's going to be lake of fire. That's what's going to come. Through the ICBM missile coming from Russia, China, and their allies. And when Yahweh Shah Mashiach cracked that sky open with his chariots, with his holy angels, man, beaming down those laser beams coming from the fire, from the chariots. He's going to destroy this place. You got to imagine, Philly ain't going to look like Philly. You're not going to be able to know when you're in Philadelphia, Montgomery County, Jersey, or anything. It's going to lose its boundaries. It's going to become a desert. It's going to burn for a very, very long period of time first. It's going to be like a lake of fire, the whole entire place. And if you're not part of the elect, you're not going to be saved. You're not going to be saved, meaning your ass making this out of this chariot. That's what's being saved from. You got to make it to the chariot. Then you made it. That's salvation.
Yeah, because in that movie Planet of the Apes, he didn't know he was in the
Right.
So he saw, yeah.
Yep.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
This is the time, like the brother said. The vengeance already started. This is what we was talking about. The famine of the word, the famine, all the pestilence on this earth, the earthquakes, it's already started. This is why the prophets on highways and byways, starting from Elder Apostle Tahar or Great Millstone on down, is out here risking their lives every day for the hopeful elect, man. Telling you this truth.
He will render unto her a recompense.
Right. Can you look up the word recompense in Hebrew? She gonna get exactly what she deserves. Payback. Righteous judgment.
Recompense. Transliteration.
No, the Hebrew word, Gamal.
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 Hey,
From the root.
try to keep it even.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
No, recompense. Reward, benefit, given, serve, deserve.
Deserve. Everything you deserve it all, Esau. This place was built on blood, innocent blood of God's chosen people, man. Yahshua, the Prince of the Power. You did it to God's chosen people. Like the brother said, the apple of the Heavenly Father's eye, man. We're the apple of the Lord's eye. You did it. And you're going to get everything that you deserve, man. And that's fire.
Yeah, you're responsible for reverting the entire earth. The entire earth. The entire earth. It literally says that the earth languishes under the inhabitants of the earth. So everything as a result of your rulership is causing perversion, degeneration, decadence, evil, a constant decline. There's no life here. Life cannot be lived. And people, more and more people are recognizing that you're not living, you're only surviving and barely.
The earth was literally fighting back for its existence.
As a matter of fact, a lot of the times that the earth goes through the earthquake, brothers can look this up in fact. A lot of earthquakes are happening because of what you're doing to the tectonic plates. Yeah. The oil is actually a natural lubricant. It's disturbing. So you're causing shifts. So like that's basically a deep, almost like a deep effect.
Yeah, it's like when you have something like your bones in your body, certain ligaments. If you're not hydrated, you're gonna tear something. It doesn't abruptly. You know? And since you got the tectonic plates, like the brother's saying, the oil was there. They're always gonna move. Things will be a little more smooth. Yeah. You know, less dramatic. You know, but since there's nothing there, and things are trying to move, it's gonna be a lot more dramatic.
You're gonna blow your transmission.
Oh yeah.
You remember a lot of earthquakes eventually turn into tsunamis.
Right, yeah.
A lot of things get interconnected to.
You done with that, brother? I said, can I get Isaiah 66 and 15? Or you want to finish this?
8 and 9.
All right, 9.
8.
You will go to 8? Okay. Jeremiah 51 and 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, be she may be healed.
Yeah, this is the time that we're seeing Babylon falling, you know, and howl for her, take balm for her, you know, give her something for her pain. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be here crying and act like these Christians be saying, God bless America, you know, pray Jesus and all that. Now with that damn white, so-called white Jesus.
And that's really sarcasm, but that's really sarcasm. The Lord's being sarcastic. You know? Take some bomb.
Right.
Fix it.
Yeah.
You know? Throw some dirt on it or something. But you can't because there's nothing there to fix it. It's, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but these people think they can. They elect a new president saying make America great again.
Yeah, but that's that pride that the Lord talked about. The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And that's a backhanded thing for the Lord to say to you too. He's reminding you of your origin. Basically, you're the basis of all men, nigga.
Right.
Right? Oh, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
A caveman.
Yeah.
You want 9? Okay, Jeremiah 51:9. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed.
Like the brother just said, it's sarcasm. Because the man has been on this highway since 1969, the men of the Lord, bringing out this truth. Had they would have listened, maybe Babylon would have been healed, but it's not for this place to be healed. This truth is not for everybody. It's only for the elect of Israel. That's what this truth is for. So fuck this place. This place is going down. 2/3 of you niggas going down. And all of you other nations are going back into the state.
I mean, this place was literally destined to be destroyed. It was literally erected and built up. The Lord said, all our great riches come to naught. And it's only going to take the Lord, Yahweh Shai, to send the Holy Angel for 1 hour.
And it's all a part of sarcasm too. To have a president who can't hold his vows, or maybe a pedophile, and the world is basically witnessing his degeneracy.
Yeah, AKA the shit show, baby, wet wipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Wet Wipes.
That's it. You don't.
I got a scripture. Okay. This is
And that's a perfect metaphor because the shit about to hit the fan.
It is a fan. Every time you have a conference, you pass gas, and the people standing around you almost fucking pass out.
Yeah.
It got to be atrocious. I saw this one lady. I mean, she knew she was on camera, but she almost took like a step back.
yeah. The famous video is the bull.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a famous video of the bull sitting right behind Trump, and all he can't control it. He was on live TV like he couldn't control it, man. He was
pass gas and woke himself up. Oh shit.
This is Ecclesiastes 10:16. Woe unto thee, O land, when thy king is a child and thy prince is eating the morning. So your president is basically a baby shit on himself, man. An old baby, man. An old racist ass pedophile that shit on himself. That's the pinnacle of Edomites, man. That's the pinnacle of Edomites. Y'all fucking losers, man.
Yeah, he the real boss, baby.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's losers, man. Y'all got it.
Yeah, then what, didn't he actually say that? He was in the presence of all them leaders. He said, I'm the boss or some crazy shit like that. Y'all remember that? He was in the presence of those leaders.
Ukraine and all the
He said, I'm the boss. All right,
All right, dude.
Yep. This is the book of Isaiah 34. I'll start at 4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, right, going into that destruction, right, the mushroom cloud is going to be caused by that thermonuclear destruction. It says, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Yeah, so even, during the climax of World War III, Esau trying to come against Yakalba Page, all that is going to be destroyed and brought down. Right, in verse 5, right, the point, it says, for my sword shall be bathed in head, behold, it shall come down upon Hallelujah and upon the people of my first judgment. Now, that right, and I want to get that word, the curse as well in the Hebrew.
Last night, I watched, because I never got to watch it Terminators and Terminators days were like real boring. That future that they saw, all the destruction and all that shit, was 2028. That was the year they saw destruction. You know, it's just one of those things that I was like, damn, it was like, it's real. I was like, damn. You know, when this movie came out, it was in the 80s, you know? So that was like, 40 years later, the first one. You know, when they showed the future scene, it said 2028.
And it talked about Skynet, which is
Skynet,
AI.
the whole thing. I'm like, God damn, man. And we're already on 2026, man. That's only 2 years after that. They had the rise of the fucking AI robots and shit. But just show you that what they ultimately prophecy is showing in these movies, which is like really to show the destination of America.
Yeah, like the movie Terminator Genesis. Now that title in itself is spiritual. Terminate something means to end something. Genesis is the beginning
Of something, yeah.
Now, in that movie was heavily emphasized in the sky. It was going to show you where Earth is headed. Everything's going to be interconnected, put on a digital grid. That's alluding to what? The micro-seeding. And remember, we know that's the end of the old system and the beginning or the birth of the new system. But also you could apply Esau as the end of the world.
In the east, Jacob, can you go?
Actual shit.
Because remember, that's going to put the proverbial nail in his coffin. Once he mandates that shit, there's no coming back from that. That is official when the Lord is going to intervene. Remember, while he is eating. And that's a part of him eating. Okay? In his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. While he's eating, the Lord is going to rain it upon him. That's when that destruction is simultaneously going to come. And the deliverance is going to simultaneously come. So they got that title right. Terminator Genesis. There's a couple things we take away from there, but spiritually, that was, I had to do a lesson on a long time ago. That's the takeaway, or the angle that I had.
It's a lot here too, Elder, real quick. In the movie, the guy that built Skynet was a Jake. They blamed it on Jake for building the system that destroyed the world. If y'all remember, the Terminator, they went in there, put the gun to him and his wife, shot him in his leg, but he was a Jake. They blamed it on Jake.
Yeah. Were they going to accuse us?
Remember, with Peter Field, Palantir?
Yeah, Palantir, yep.
Everything that Skynet can do is exactly what they have right now. Marking different people as, from back to
That's why they're also moving further into that anti-Sem campaign. Because who are the primary ones exposed? It's the prophets. And it's really the scriptures that are exposing you. Okay? Because we never said you're not a Semite. All right? Which is really Shem. We know you're a Shemite. Okay? We come from the same line, but the Lord separated us as nations. All right? Inevitably, when our forefather Isaac birthed, when Rebecca, excuse me, when she conceived. Right, but we share the same parents, man.
Shit, Moab and Ammon, they Shemites, man.
No, but the Lord did ultimately divide us. He separated us as a nation. Okay, and you were the weak. You were called Issachar. Okay, but yeah, we Shemites. And Esau, okay, and Jacob are not the only Shemites. So they're going off. They're going way off. They're gonna have a hard time if they accuse anybody and bring them to court. They have a fucking hard time. They're gonna have to use that newspeak in that perverse language. I said perverse, meaning it's corrupt. All right, meaning they can twist it right. They can make it to mean what they want. But they're gonna have a hard time because if we actually go into the scriptures on their ass,
We gotta ignore that.
yeah. But remember, the Colombian batch is gonna come, so we'll see. But if they still allow a fair trial, we gotta mind the judge. Am I entitled to a fair trial? This is what enables you to start bringing in certain evidence. You gotta remind them what Ronald Reagan said. One of your own said that the Bible was what? The law of the land. So we following this, you got no charges to bring up against anybody. Because you're supposed to follow that book too, but you don't. You cast the words of the Heavenly Father behind you. Okay?
Yeah, look at guilty, you
Yeah. Well, prove that we're not Shem.
can't.
You can't do that. If we walk in there and you say, oh, you spreading anti-Semite rhetoric, you go up there and you tell, I'm a Shemite too. Like other person, I'm against myself.
Mind you, Shem on the planet, all the Shemites are the predominant cultures on the planet. So, Noah, Abraham,
Ishmael, Elam, Ashar,
Elam,
the Assyrians, Ashar.
they're the
Yep.
Basically, the Shemites are the ones that really running the show on the planet.
You have Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And out of those three lines, the earth was repopulated. So a lot of nations came out of Shem. So they got that all twisted. Anyway, moving on. So we see what's coming. We see what's coming. But the brother made a point about them blaming Jake. They gonna blame us. They already do. Remember, he's known as the accuser.
The face of DI is
Northern tribe. Yeah.
and that's originally was everybody benefits from this war. It's fucking stupid, I guess. Behind everybody benefits, doesn't matter who comes from. But the face of it is like brown.
Yeah, these fucking Northern Kingdom tribes bought the hell out. Rocking the goddamn green, pink hair, rainbow colors. Right up there. They had that there.
Yeah, and why do we have diversity and inclusion? Because we saw the foundation of racism. It's about racism. No, I'm coming. You have to enact laws and actual action to murder you and disenfranchise you.
Remember, he literally made the so-called struggle of our alternative lifestyles equal to the struggle and things you suffered.
Right.
He made that. Actually, he put that beneath because he make sure that you don't forget to bring it up, not to mention.
I'm going to give it the comic book. 16th chapter, creation of Adam. You know, they got basically, look up the creation of Adam. Artwork. They got the basically sodomites touching each other's fingers in the clouds, little micro penises.
Right.
So that's the creation of Adam. So they revised actual artwork of the natives that lived in the area.
Right.
Italy, Greece, Russia.
And the Michelangelo of David.
They
Yeah.
basically revised the artwork by creating something called the 16th chapter.
Right.
Basically paintings to revise the actual works of the great men of the Bible. They switched it up. They got it. So they got Adam, they got God, they got the angel, and all the lights.
They make the likeness of their image. And then through that, they also feminized what would otherwise have been represented as strong, masculine role models.
Yeah. Corrupt. Input them. This one is a pain. When you corrupt the truth, last means to sin, strength, lie. That's what we create. Adam, angels, females. Make them feminine.
Yes.
Make them look like.
And I got this one too. See?
Like men. That's blasphemy.
This is
Scriptures talk about it like Judges 9:11.
oh shit. David Michelangelo. You see? They gotta make him naked and shit.
I'm sorry. That was.
But yeah, that's good too. That's fine.
Yeah. Remember, there's a saying. I don't know who's it attributed to, but there's a saying that says, "Truth is the enemy in an empire of lies." Truth is the enemy in the empire of lies. We live in an empire of lies. You know, Job 9:24.
Earth is getting its hands on it.
Okay. He covered the base of the judges. If not, who is God? You said judges. I'm sorry, Job.
I got a little quick precept
what you just said.
This is real quick. Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies. And robbery, the prey departeth not."
So like the brother was going into, when it comes to imagery, when it comes to icons, you know, all of these things, they've pretty much been whitewashed or by destroying the image. They erased Jake away from their heritage, okay, and what belongs to them. You know, reduce them to effeminate, right?
The why?
The men is effeminate, the women is masculine, right? That's basically part of them trying to separate us from being a nation.
They don't look themselves.
That's
They
part of
think
us.
there's new rules.
Right, that's a part, exactly. That's a part of us being conquered. When you lose your identity, and then you look at the images of what's supposed to be history, you're confused, or you're either confused or you fall for the lie if you're not careful.
Yeah, because people with brainwashed.
Right. Well, they attribute, okay, the white man's God, or the white man's the Savior, or the white man is the thief. That's how our people act.
Right.
They're always about the enemy before themselves. So they falling right for the trap. They literally put the struggle of others over their own. Now, how the hell is a fucking sodomite or effeminate, or someone who's willing to cut off their members got a greater struggle than you? Somebody that was at one time considered a mental defect, all right, or a defect. Or
imbecile.
Yeah.
General imbecile.
You coming over here on cargo slave ships, being completely destroyed, is less important than an individual who wants to expose themselves to gene therapy.
That's all he wanted to.
And hormone injections, and parade around in a dress. And our people fucking love to have it. That's the thing. Our people actually subscribe to that shit. A lot of our people are doing it them damn selves.
Yeah, when the time comes, it's going to be known who has the truth. Yeah, some people with philosophy that believe in yourself, use your own brain, think for yourself. You know, where you got other people that say get rid of religion. All right. There's only one truth, and you're going to know when these prophecies come back. People say chapter, verse. No, but right now, you got to think for yourself crowd. You got to like Buddhism. Or you get with a mainstream religion. Right now, we're just suffering until that time comes where we can see the spiritual power. Then you're going to know. You're going to put all that to shame. So y'all going to shame.
Don't go.
I just thought about it.
We're going to show you how the power will show you.
Yeah, the blood.
Yeah, y'all seen the bug out, the guy that was teaching Egyptology, he got the fingernails.
Oh, young Pharaoh.
Young Pharaoh,
yeah.
You see how the Lord don't fuck him completely out.
Well, he was already bugged out.
He was already bugged out.
To another level.
But yeah, he just got.
Yeah.
My man had the leopard fingers.
Yeah, he got the finger. He probably did.
He probably is.
He's always like doing his money. He was doing that stuff to make money.
Yup.
He first started doing that like
Catch a
2
wave.
years ago. He started talking about black women ain't God and doing all that, like a switch. He basically going through different phases. And in light moments of the light, first the black woman was God, then she wasn't God because of the money. Then he started doing all the other weird shit. Egyptology and all this stuff.
Shalom, man.
Well, he can just go whatever way he wants, whatever way he's gonna make his money. So I guess this way he's making his money. Well, he already got his money, he just like coming out to what he truly is. He already got his money, got his investments, and now he wants to express himself.
Yeah, them demons in the drivers hold them in their own directions.
What the black woman was God, now she's not God. Is she God again now? I don't know.
Yeah, there's different spirits activating.
Yeah, when you make a deal with the devil, every time you want to increase, you got to be more degenerate.
That's it. You got to present an immoral sacrifice.
I don't know about tearing power. I don't even see young or not.
Yeah.
I guess he got out.
Supposedly, yeah, supposedly.
And then he started just like kind of leaning against the grain. So that don't mean you should listen to him.
Right.
He's a bug out.
Some people that get out early.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know when that necessarily happened. I just know that
Iron Man, he lost his role. Iron Man too. Yep.
War Machine.
Right, War Machine.
War Machine. Yep.
And they gave the role to
Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle.
And supposedly, I don't know how true it is, but Terrence Howard was the one that advocated for Robert Downey Jr.
Yep. Jacob, the form
And I
of
know
all
he
things.
definitely got a wrong deal because his paycheck was slim compared to what the rest of the actors were. So
What's that going on?
whatever, that might have been
Iron Man.
He was mad at Robert Downey Jr. because we needed to favor Robert Downey Jr. Didn't help him back out. That's how they fell out.
You might have seen him like he making like social media runs.
Yes.
Following up on the subscriptions. Because if you don't get a high English check, you gotta get subscribers.
His kids is
Lifestyle,
what's up with the Bull Peak pet stuff, man? He don't know coke, man.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He's still coke heavy.
He a big user and drinker too.
Yeah, man. That nigga wild.
He was already bugged out at the convention with the military officers. He was really bugged out.
chain smoker.
Crazy part about it is.
I didn't think about it.
Driving in the car, drunk motherfucker. You know he's drunk. And you ain't gonna tell him to stop. You know he's driving right into
Andrew Wilson.
You know the motherfucker drunk. Then you ain't let him drive.
Yeah, fucking Andrew Wilson.
They don't know how to rise up. They don't know how to stand up against the niggas. They ain't built like that.
And he hails himself as this mighty man.
His wife apparently is coming up. Everybody should listen to this fucking. They don't look like they can tell. They actually look. His wife is he's a baby. He married into a family from the internet. His wife already had children.
Yeah.
From the internet. You know?
Remember,
he's a stepdad.
He debated Captain Zariak and well, no, I know. And then Alizar. Big one. Yeah, he primarily is on the damn what if? Podcast. Whatever the fuck it's on.
He has his own stuff like this. A lot of his clips, but he has his own YouTube or social media. That's how he so
Whatever. He's a real piece of shit. And you're right.
He always
This nigga
smoking
has
cigarettes.
to smoke
Yeah.
at all times. And how you gonna, like the brother said, it's like, how the fuck you gonna trust somebody that's constantly defiling the temple every moment you see him?
Andrew Wilson.
these guys,
He's so intelligent, he can't stop himself from inhaling over 70 different chemicals into his fucking room. He's so goddamn intelligent. Alright, that's
give me, let's fix it to Isaiah 8, 20. Let me read
Law to the testimony.
The scripture talk about the law and the testimony. Testimony is the property, testimony.
Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
That's why people follow degenerates online. You know, you use them for what you use them for. Degenerates got change the doctrine, start seeing the true colors, you gotta fucking leave it. Alright? You used to watch somebody before, and now you see, and you didn't have judgments in real time until the real moment, right? You see that they doctrine, the change, what they really believe came out. Stop fucking following. We're gonna keep following somebody that's change the doctrine, or you see that you play. Because you might not have seen it before. And now they produce you know, they produce stuff in content, and then you stop fucking following.
yeah, that's because people they they fall into that cult of personality.
Right, yeah, right.
You know, when they really like somebody, they just don't want to separate themselves. And that's going to be on you. You can't fall into that cult of personality.
Not Jake, but people in the gym, they addicted to watching girls get kicked out of.
Yeah, like they'll talk.
That's to that shit.
Yeah, like fresh and fit.
Talking shit.
Because thing it is, a lot of niggas that get go up in there. So like a lot, they don't like them niggas, but they'll watch the whole podcast. They'll sit up there, waste their time watching the whole fucking 3 hour long, however long the show.
You got people that act like it's fun to watch, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit through a 3 hour episode, you know, to see a dumb bitch. I mean, it's entertainment. If I were watching, I'd be watching because it's entertainment.
Is there any kind of way you can make the sound from the microphone go that way instead of coming this way? Is there any kind of setting on there?
I don't know. Let me see.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Well, that's why they do it. They bring them on for
Then you look at the
act like they had the higher ground.
He's saying the sound, you hear the sound better on this side than on that side. Like when the sound coming from this way, you hear it better on that side. It's all good, bro.
Okay.
So you look at the actual characters, people, those are not men you want to follow.
And they don't follow their own advice. They
well, you got the guys, you know, like Benjamin did. Fresh.
Well, you know, even Abba and fucking Fit don't like me.
Abba and Preach, yeah. Yeah, they get a little effeminate, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got confounded.
Be honest.
He got with that chick. And then he messed him up.
Yeah, they like it for the money. And that's okay. It's not legend. Yeah, you know, women like you for what you have. You know?
It's either power, fame, status.
You don't have to lie about that. You look at damn fraud. I mean, that was the group.
Yeah, well, they teach hypergamy, but then they don't follow the rules. You know, supposedly. But they'll teach you all about hypergamy.
All right.
You gotta follow people that actually live in the way that they say. You know, why would you follow Captain John? He couldn't even break down about the languages. When he was confronted about languages on one of those dudes, he said that his language was taken from him and all this stuff. It was true. But he was justifying not knowing Hebrew. Not as a language you speak of equivalent to English, but you know, certain words, and then you're engaging in confrontations and debates with people you shouldn't even talk to.
Yeah, and here's, may I add, brother, the problem with these individuals is they're not doing it for truth's sake. The only obligation they have when they go into these interviews, they only want to win the argument. And it goes to show you, and a fucking idiot can win an argument, but that's not of any value or substance. Somebody could be dead ass wrong and still win the argument, but people will follow that. Because they like the way he looked, they like the way it sounded. They like the way he talks, right? They like the way he presents himself, or he seems to have a thought, whatever. But a lot of these individuals, they're not out for the sake of the truth. They're just out there to win the argument. All of these guys, they're not really teachers and prophets and followers of Yakalba Page. They're debaters. They're Israelite podcasters. Whatever. But there's a commonality amongst all of these individuals. They just there to try to win the argument. That's all that matters. To one each other out. It ain't about winning the argument.
Proverbs 12:23.
It's about finding the truth. What is the truth?
Proverbs 21:23. Proverbs 17:27.
Alright, I got Proverbs 12:23. It says, a prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the hearts of fools proclaimeth foolishness.
Yeah, I don't know Hebrew. Like, that's a name, but now you're playing the part of the fool. Your name is Hebrew, I believe.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Mahana is really good. Right? He's still saying you should have already proved it for 30 years, right?
Right.
Same thing with the
You want 17:27? Proverbs 17:27. He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man understanding of his own excellent spirit.
yeah, like if somebody come up and try to
He that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man understanding of his he that hath knowledge spareth his words, and a man understanding is of an excellent spirit.
Yeah, somebody probably someone.
Next, I'd like to be a little practical.
And now they're messing. You gotta put this. Argentina and Spain engaging these arguments like trying to pull us into a debate. It's a loaded question. We do support Palestine. We're not going to engage in these type of questions.
Hey, keep going, 28. It's some, yes. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding.
How you break that down?
I see that when I looked up on Who's More Live. They have a premiere today. He's having
try to right here?
On his platform.
Oh, we.
They're gonna have a conversation on the page. Why would you have a conversation?
The Bible, laws, older.
Yeah, I hold it.
You can sit inside of that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Israel wasn't the first nation. That's not the point. You can't book is older. Whose laws are older? Hammurabi Code are older than law. Moses received from God. Israel became a nation later. You guys are degenerates. It was made that way. Just because you had a nation and king first doesn't mean that you're right. Doesn't mean that you have superior knowledge. Our God is a living God, okay? So not polytheism. What did it say? Co-equal, the so-called interpretations.
Oh, coexist.
Co-eternal.
Coexist.
Yeah. John 5 and 3. That's totally different. John 5 and 3. Right? That's something that we with other religion, Babylonian or religion or belief outside of the laws, statutes, and commandments given to us by the power. Co-equal, co-eternal. That don't even make sense.
Yeah, scriptures say, be ye unequally yoked. It's unbelievable.
So they're bringing in other doctrines and they're mating it. What is scripture talk about Manasseh one to make? That co-equal, co-eternal thing is bullshit. That's not it's not in the scripture. Co-equal, co-eternal. Right? This is beheading on beginning. It doesn't mean the beginning of existence. It's not what Genesis 1 and 2 says. It's beheading, our beginning, our Ashiach. It's not the beginning of all matter in the universe. Right? That's not what the book is relaying to the reader. These fools actually believe it. Then they try to push it. It says them, right? Right? That's what it says. It says them. So that means that other people already existed. Where they can't get his rise from it all.
I mean, the only thing, look, the only thing to say, it is the beginning. It's a recount of the records, the first 5 books of Moses. Now, was Moses Israelite? Yes, he was. What was his tribe? Levi. Now, yes, on the 5th day, okay,
man was created, right? So it goes into that subject matter. However, there's a primary reason why that recount is happening in the first place. Because what's being told, what's being recounted is for Israel, for Israelites. What if the Lord said that the Lord turned the reputation of the other nations into spittle? Be like unto what? Nothing. Like a drop that falleth from a vessel or a bucket.
Okay, John, you got Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter.
Hold on, he's talking.
John chapter 5 verse
No,
30.
get Isaiah.
Okay.
You want Isaiah? Isaiah first. All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Verse 21. And they shall pass through it, hardly beast instead and hungry, and it shall come to pass.
Start up.
I'm gonna start at verse 19. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not the people seek unto their power for the living to the dead? To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And they shall pass
You
through
and
it.
Isaiah, right?
Yeah, Isaiah. Verse 21. And they shall pass through it, hardly, instead, and hungry, and it shall come to pass that when they shall be hungry, they shall fret themselves and curse their king and their power and look upward.
Give me the 13th verse. Verse 13.
This is verse 13. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 13. Sanctify the Most High of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel. For a gin.
And that's the wisdom that Yahweh Shai taught. Yahweh Shai's job is to bring Israel back to the light, back to the truth, seal it. And his death and resurrection assured our seat in inheriting the kingdom under Yahweh Shai.
For a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
I mean, Jacob, 12 tribes of Israel doesn't understand. The majority, the masses, don't understand.
Verse 15. And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. And I will wait upon the Most High that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I the children of whom the Most High have given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from the Most High of hosts.
Go to 20.
Verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Yep, to the law and to the testimony. So it's not just the law, but the prophets, when the prophets speak. So the prophets have the authority to teach the scripture. When you go to the church, you only learn like historical events. They're not qualified to teach prophecy. Historical events, history, and how to be good to your fellow man. Which is really talking about Israel, how to handle other nations. They can't break down what the prophecy says. The prophecy says that Messiah will return, destroy the people that are in power, except for the 10 horns. They don't talk about that in the church. So they're not qualified to do so. So they're not talking about how the Lord, Messiah, will come back and destroy the people that are in power, the nations that are in power. They're not to be trusted. They don't understand the scriptures. Right? They can't break down the 7 heads and 10 horns. They only go into Solomon's word and how it can benefit you in Psalms, you know, in the law, or they might go into scavengers and all that, but they're not telling you about what the end is going to be of the nations that are in power. Because it doesn't benefit, because the nations that they're in going to lose their product.
Yeah, when I was coming to camp, they handed me this.
For who's one?
Somebody, it was like an Edomite looking chick, and it looked like the gospel of Jesus Christ according to John in Romans. So they took and omit all of the other books in the scriptures.
Did they go to Romans, the first chapter?
They put Romans, it looked like the 15th, Romans, like, they say about salvation. Here's 3 steps of salvation. It said, here's God's word. And they quote Romans 10 and 17. They come by here and understand it.
Yeah, Romans 10. Right? Is that 10? Romans 9.
10.
Romans 9. You talk about Romans 9 in there? Skip that, John. Romans 5.
Yeah, Romans 5, 3. And then it's just like 15 and 16. The King James. Let me see.
Yeah, Romans 9 clearly tells you that the grace and the glory and the covenant given in the law, I read in the law, is given to the children of Israel. So, and Paul was talking to the children of Israel that was scattered in Rome. The churches that was in Rome. The houses of worship that were built up in Rome during
They gave it to them in the beginning.
Right? And you had Israelites that went over there and created communities before the Hellenistic period.
They got Romans 9 in there. Who are the Israelites?
They
got
got it?
Romans 9.
Look, well, there you go. All right, what they got in the cover? They got no pictures, right? Everything's so it make it universal for everybody to come in. Yeah. So basically, when they include scriptures like that, basically they're trying to get you to worship the so-called jet. All right. They're the people that died. They're not Shemites. But being a Shemite doesn't mean you are elect. Shemite just means you're from a specific family line. It doesn't mean you're always elect. It's looking at Satan. You have to register. First fruits of the Most High.
They got wheat on there too. They got wheat on there too. It's wheat on there too. Wheat on the front.
They're not elect. All the Shemites.
Front. Gathered the wheat in my barn.
Church of Israel.
Second Ezra 6 tells you from all the people that was chosen. Right, of all the nations that come out of Adam, right? Like it talks about the Lord's people, okay? It don't talk about those nations. It says thou hast chosen thee one nation. That one nation that the Lord chose is the nation of Israel. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Church, right? Not all the nations. And what did he choose them? A divine purpose, right? To be his royal priesthood, right? And to be a nation of what? Kings, perpetual rulers. Because we're going to rule the next kingdom, and we're going to rule forever. So we're going to be the ones governing the earth in righteousness.
John 5.
Yep.
And that's the rights that we have as his people, as his firstborn, as his beloved.
John 5 and 30. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which have sent me.
Yeah. So Yahweh Shai, Messiah, was begotten of the Father.
Oh, he was cooked over here, so like.
We can move down this way, but that's free of the sidewalk.
Somebody else another scripture?
Yeah, he just wanted to turn on 5.
You have it?
So,
So this is the book of Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai to worship the Most High. For the testimony of Yahweh Shai to spread the prophecy. So just like the elder was going into, we're not speaking about the prophecies, we're not speaking about this nation, all right, or this kingdom being destroyed, right? You're not going into the prophecies, and you're not truly a man of Yahweh Shai. You're just talking about certain things of the scriptures to gain, money or success or, motivation, type of, things like that. This thing is spiritual. All right. Tapping into the spirit is going into these prophecies. All right. Going into the MOTP, going into Jacob's trouble, going into World War III. All right. Going into who the wicked is, who the Israelites are, the elect. All right. What salvation truly is. All right. How salvation is truly going to happen. That goes into the testimony of the house.
I got a precept. Ezekiel 36 and 5. Ezekiel 36 is my brother.
Yeah, just so I know. It says, Proverbs chapter 13 and 3, he that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. But he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. Yes, if he keeps his mouth, his life, meaning that he doesn't know, obviously when to speak and when not to speak. It says, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. Yeah, we see a lot of these guys opening wide their lips and not, putting it with scriptures.
Reputation is good. Spread laws now. Don't be intelligent, then says I'm stupid. Yeah. You got open his mouth and move it. Ezekiel 36 is why I love it.
Ezekiel 36 is why. It says,
Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all I do, which have appointed my land to their possessions, which destroys all their heart, with spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey.
You saw it back then doing it, and they're doing it now today. Who inhabits the land today? So-called white man. Calls himself white. That's a made-up race. It was sometime 1600s. So it's like categorized itself as white person. Right? With the spiteful minds, they cast it out for a prey. Go ahead, continue.
Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Most High, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen.
Yeah, meaning the heathen are in the land. All right? So you got Edom and other nations that were in the land of Israel back then. They're talking about the Babylonians having control over the land of Israel.
Therefore, thus saith the Most High, I have lifted up mine hand. Surely the heathen that are about me, they shall bear their shame.
Hey, first,
For ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth the branches, and yield your fruit to my people of Israel. For they are at hand to come.
yeah, we didn't get there yet. Fast. It's like running. Some people that went back there, the chase. Already about people that are not in the land of Israel. They're inhabited by a heathen. Right?
For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall see, and ye shall be still and sown.
Tilled and sown.
It shall be tilled and sown.
Right. Meaning that the land is going to bring forth abundance. Right now, the land is not bringing forth abundance. It's still requiring the land to be poor and mass murder. It's not how the prophecy of Israel returning to the land is taking place by how they're doing it. They're doing it by carnal means. Israel will return to the land by supernatural means. Continue.
Yeah, that land is actually, because it's divided into the inhabitants, they got to import trees. They got to import a lot.
And I will multiply men upon you.
That's like, just goes to show you that the people, those are the people, because the land would bring anything. There would be no reason to import resources. The land itself is the Lord's favorite bit. It should be bringing an abundance. The land of milk and honey.
We got check out good technology. Just the imports from states. States, United States didn't exist. That state, so-called Jays didn't exist. The welfare state that don't exist.
And I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it.
Why do many of them have dual citizenship? All of them have dual citizenship. So if somebody try to burn their ass up, they get the fuck out of there. And the mustache man was right apparently. He's right.
And the cities shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be builded. And I will multiply upon you men, and beasts, and they shall increase and bring fruit. And I will settle you after your own estates, and will be better unto you than at your beginning.
That doesn't describe his current state right now. Absolutely not. Read it again.
Start from the top, verse 11.
13. Read the verse again. Did you get to 13 verse? All right, read 12.
Verse 12. Yeah, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people of Israel, and they shall possess it, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt know therefore erase them of men. Verse 13.
Read that again.
Verse 12. Yeah, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people of Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be an inheritance.
Right, that would be what? From your phrase to the tribes. Alright? That's the actual possession. Esau is not possessing that land. He's trying to get that land through war. Right? Euphrates River to the Great River, I bring Canal River. So they gotta destroy a lot of Arabs, make the people to get that land. To war, for a war machine. Those are not the people. Biblically, they're not the people. See that? Ezekiel wrote it. Ezekiel wrote it down. Okay? It's not talking about them. Alright? It's not talking about them. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know herefore berave them of men.
Yeah, they still lying. Bereave means to remove. Right? They still can die. They still get sick. They still get hurt. Right? The prophet doesn't fit them. They're not the people. What?
Thus saith the Most High, because they say unto you, thou land devoureth up men, and has bereaved thy nations.
Yeah, they're still doing that. Right? That's what proves that they're not the people. Well,
Yeah, and they wouldn't be relying on the strength of the foreign military.
drop bombs on Iran.
Yeah. You'd be waiting on the move. Clearly. There's a big problem.
Yeah, their defense is the Iron Dome.
Right, not the Howard Shah, not the Messiah. Or the Hashem. The defense is military technology. They don't work a lot of time. What?
Verse 14. Therefore thou shalt devour men no more, neither bereave thy nations anymore, save the Most High. Neither will I cause men to hear and heed the shame of the heathen anymore.
Well, you still got Arabs in that land. So this prophecy is not fulfilled from their presence in the land. So they can't be the people. Well,
neither shalt thou bear the reproach of the people anymore. Neither shalt thou cause thy nations to fall, save the Most High. Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying,
somebody else take over the reading. Somebody else take over the reading. Got it? Well, you can take a break. Huh? Somebody else can read. Ezekiel 36.
This is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 16. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way, and by their doing.
This is a historical account. This is why we're not in the land. This is why the true biblical Israelites are not in the land. Ezekiel's going through.
Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman.
Unclean. Regular transgressors of the law.
Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it. And I scattered them among the heathen.
That's where the children of Israel are. They're scattered among the heathen all around the world. Right? The true biblical Israelites are not in the land.
I got a precept to back that up. Luke 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles will be fulfilled.
Yeah, it's not fulfilled yet. We're near it, but it's not fulfilled yet. It's still in the land. Yeah.
And they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, and according to their doings I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, These are the people of Yahweh by Shemi-Yahushua, and are gone forth out of his land. But I had pity for mine holy name, which is the house of Israel. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen, whither they went. Therefore said unto the house of Israel, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, I do not this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake.
Yahweh, right? The Son was revealed later in our shop. Right? So you worship the Father and the Son. Right?
Which ye have profaned among the heathen.
And praise his name. His name is important. It's a focal point of our religion. This is our heritage, our identity. Right?
Whether you went, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen. When ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua.
Yeah, when we get the spiritual power and we return to the land, the name of the Lord will be magnified. It's Yahweh and Yahushua, right?
As a matter of fact, that destruction is going to come is going to be magnified. It's going to begin there. What's going to the fear of the Lord is going to be put back on the earth through that horrific destruction that's going to take place. Like the Lord's name was magnified after we were led out of Egypt. We'll be magnified even greater being led out of this Egypt spiritually.
Said the Lord Yahweh, the Almighty Power.
Verse
Verse 23. When I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. Verse 24.
I will be sanctified. Esau is definitely.
For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries.
I will take you among the that's Yahweh Shah. Not the Americans, not the British, not the United Nations. It says, I will take you from. I will take you from among the heathen. What?
And will bring you into your land, Select, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean.
That doesn't apply to Esau either. Absolutely not. Way off. You think they the people are way off. Right? This is the prophecy for Israel returns to the land, bro.
From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you.
Tel Aviv, they get help from heathens, apparently. Americans, oil, Edom. So they can't be the people. It's impossible. Yep.
A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh.
And that's the nail of the prophet right there. Right?
And I will.
That verse right there implies, and says directly, really, that the law is going to be put in the inward parts. You're going to be perfect. All right? So that's going to happen simultaneously when the true Israelites turn to the way. You will be given the heart of flesh. All right? Get where that is.
Jeremiah 31.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah. So Ezekiel and Jeremiah are on the same page. It's the same prophecy, just expressed in a different way. Right? The prophecy doesn't repeat itself, it's expressed in a different way in other men's words, but it came from the same spirit. Right? 26 verses of nail in the coffin. They are not the people. 100% do not have the heart of flesh. The law is not within their inward parts. They're not perfect. You got some of them are midgets, they look like cavemen. Come on. They look like degenerate, some of them.
They look like goblins and shit.
They look like monsters.
Yeah.
They're obsessed with jewelry, gold, silver. They're obsessed with it.
They actually have that mouse look. Yeah, like that rat look.
And they worship other gods, man. They worship Saturn.
Yeah.
So Saturn, Shum. You can't pronounce the name of the word. How do you pronounce it? How do you circumcise babies with their mouth? And have new creatures. They suck the blood up to prevent infection, but it gives them from it. Suck the blood. So how can they have the new heart? That's a new heart? If that's a new heart, then what the hell is the old heart look like? That's a new heart.
Verse 26. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. Verse 27.
Doesn't apply to the so-called J. We have time. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Yeah.
Or any.
Yeah, any of the heathen are going to dwell in there. You got the Egyptian, Arab Egyptians thinking they actually were Egyptians. Dummies. The Egyptians were called black Africans.
They call them the Neolithic
and I will
tribes.
put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them.
There's more nails in the coffin. Absolutely is not talking about the so-called Jews. Weren't there a secular government? Secular
science.
And as a specific Jew Zionists. And really, it's going to end in their total destruction. They're not going to get the land. The land is going to be in nuclear fire. That's what the land is. Some of them are going to try to escape to space, some of them are going to try to escape to underground, other countries, but the angels will gather back and they're going to be going to slavery, serve, lying down in the days. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Short for master. Mr. This is master. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am. They don't learn respect. Right now, Ezekiel 36 chapter.
They look like cool. Bro had an old boo. No personality, no lines.
Thessalonians. Because when that new heart is given, we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So where's the time where they called up pivot, okay, and ascended into the cloud, which is really supernatural gift. Jared, when did you see these people ascend and be changed in the twinkling of an eye with supernatural gifts? Never has, because it hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen until the actual people of the Almighty shall be getting elect men.
Oh, he Esau get abducted, because Ezekiel was not vision.
Yeah.
But Esau get abducted, they beat the hell out of him, apparently. Esau get abducted by aliens, alright? They beat the shit out of him. They do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Terrorize.
Yeah. Fuck them up.
Yeah, wasn't that what that movie The Fourth Kind was about? Angels fucking up.
Well, that's the original one. Away from the settlers.
That might be mispronouncing the title. I just remember that. You know? Angels disguising themselves, come out and just terrorize them.
Oh, Esau, that's his predictive programming, I believe. Tell you about
But
things
that's
that you know about.
the angels do that in different ways too. Remember, the angels, demons are angels too. Esau constantly is being haunted. and they tapped into that with 10 side too. Yeah, they never ascended. It was changed. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to the elected nation. Yeah, we're gonna be the servants, the prophets.
And you know he's alive because you look into them about what the people look like, the man of the Israelites. They don't fit the description. They look like the man of the Israelites. He said Jacob is a plain man of success. Esau don't fit the description. He's basically laying all the lines up. Esau, you know, started putting X's behind beside so-called white people. That's Jacob, so-called black people.
Criteria.
So like him,
Check.
check.
The criteria.
Precept all one.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, con. This is Jeremiah 23:5. It says, "Behold, the days come, save Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth."
So Esau, where's Esau king at? Where's Esau's Messiah? Where is he at? And he's bombing every building in Palestine. That's executing righteousness. He's ready to snap your finger and take your souls. He's around the power. So he's probably not going to use.
Yeah, they should have immortality.
Good.
Like you said,
No death. No death, which means also no sickness. You're not there to get sick.
Yep. It says, "In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely."
Yeah, the 12 tribes coming back together. So it's impossible for Esau Edom to be the true people of the Bible.
Yeah, they don't have a 12 tribe sign at all. They don't even know the tribes.
Yeah.
They'll blow the ram's horns and Ephraim come home. Ephraim come home. They don't even know they got 11 other brothers.
Then when
So long as they worship money and as long as they worship money, they can never prove that they worship money. What the Messiah said that? They kind of our lives very little value, right? It's madness. God is madness. Money is power. Off the house of Rothschild, black and white. So they're working slaves for money. Money is power. That's what Esau said he was on me. And so-called Jacob, I believe,
Yep. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And his name is whereby he shall be called the Lord over righteousness, or Yahweh Shah. And it says, verse 7, "Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country."
They were saying that Esau never ascended. So you can never can make claim to that. That day's not coming for Esau. Esau's going to ascend. Well, so the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Righteous one for teaching and safe.
As a matter of fact, Zechariah, the 5th chapter, he told that when them chariots come, it's going to be a person. It says the curse is in the house of the fleet. What's that? That's important.
A sword.
Yeah, this was a pure fire from the house shot. It says this is the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. And that's how vast the chariots are going to be. How magnified, how glorified, how fearful. It was said, he's going to take vengeance. He shall not
Beat the ass of man.
Yeah, and the ship will come to deliver his elect, but he's going to destroy you. So, what's going to destroy you?
They're still waiting on Mashiach. He already came, so he's about to make a second.
Yep. It says, the Lord liveth which brought up the children of... When it says brought up, it means like he ascended. When you look up the word brought up, they're going to ascend into the clouds of the chariots. That's how it's going to be delivered. It says, the Lord liveth which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. And from all countries...
That's America.
Yep. And from all the countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
Yeah, so you got to ascend and then descend and then right down the river. Esau even never experienced it. He never will. Now, when you try to escape the space, you're going to be brought down. Space is space mission. Lower orbit. Not actual space. Esau can't get out there. All the images you see like space are 3D generated images. Not real. Or photographs. That's why Esau never takes a picture of the sun. So Esau he tries to prove more things. So he always takes a very specific picture. There are 3D composites. And they keep hitting the space really looking at it. It's part of the witchcraft, part of the lie.
Oh, yeah, that's it. I got one. It's Micah 4, verse 1. It says, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established at the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And the mountains is government. The smaller hills are smaller governments. Which means that the house of the Lord is going to be established above all the governments in the earth. That's not the case right now. Because they have adversaries. China, Russia, North Korea, and they got missiles and technology that basically can destroy their country. So it's not exalted above the mountains from there. It's fighting for that position. It says verse 2, and many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord and to the house of the power of Jacob. He will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth from Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And that's not what's happening right now. The nations are actually looking at it's not real, saying free Palestine. They have the whole world hate that place.
Yeah.
What they teach in that place? How to kill babies, how to bomb innocent civilians. Pure wicked. The people not learning anything from them people but to not like them. It says verse 3, and he shall judge them among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Wars and rumors of wars. What's happening right now? You got this cup of TV, you see missiles flying every day. They building more missiles now. They're saying America's out of missiles, so they in the factory right now building more missiles. They say you're gonna beat your swords with the plowshares and your spears with the pruning hooks. I mean, farming instruments. Nobody gonna learn war no more when the true children of Israel go back to that land. There won't be no more war.
Agriculture, because they're gonna have to tend to the fields, the lands. It's gonna be repopulating the earth, man. The earth itself is vast. Plus, the earth itself is gonna expand after that. You know,
Right.
when this place goes through that destruction, the Lord is gonna also use that to expand the earth. But the earth can't even contain all Israel anyway.
Yeah. New continents, new islands.
Nations are going to be tasked with managing our land.
Yeah, because it's good. The Lord said, because in my house there are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. People be going to
Yeah, the Israelites are going to be going to different planets, universe, galaxies, whatever the Lord has out there in store for them. Esau, you won't be stuck here on earth tending to everything.
everything.
You know? Yeah, taskmasters above you. You know? And then, yeah, you ain't going to get no damn break. You like to be writing out, you know, coaching, you know? Like to harass Jake, you know? You gonna get it good, man. Like reprimand, you know, micromanage. Just wait. So you gonna meditate in terror.
And the time gonna be slowed back down too, all right?
Yeah. It's gonna be painstaking. The time's gonna go very slow. Naturally, it does too when you're catching hell. But it's gonna really be slow down. Right now, the Lord's speeding it up for the sake of the elect. He's saying the rain and prophecy. Yeah, it's gonna be a slow. It ain't gonna. You're gonna just walk. You know, it's not gonna be like a walk in the park. 1,000 years, by the way. Before your Obadiah 1:18.
At least.
Yeah, we're gonna, like the elder apostles, you know, used to say, we're gonna get sick of looking at it. You're really thinking on a whole different level in the kingdom, boy. A whole dark man. Right now, we like I said, we got the invitation songs. We're still spiritual men. Wait till the Lord really unlock everything to us. We're not gonna be thinking the way we're gonna be thinking all higher levels. We won't be like, we're gonna be God's food. Take our time. Everything's going to be in a perfected state.
God says, Haggai chapter 2 and verse 1, it says, speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth. It says, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms. Yeah, going to different governments of the nation. It says, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the evil. Yeah, they're different militaries. It says, and I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them. Yeah, obviously these modern vehicles that the militaries use and those who pilot it. It says, and the horses and the riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. So there you go, just belonging to the Yahweh Bashim Rashad. It says, and I will do it. So that's what we say, wait here upon me.
Bring down the heathen and save his elect. Supernatural means.
Yeah, well, this is what's going to happen to them. Isaiah 63 and 1. This is the vengeance of the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Who is this that cometh from Edom? And it specifically it says Edom, with dyed garments from Bosra. If you look up Bosra, it's a port down in Jerusalem. These that is glorious in his apparel, traveling with the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, which is the Lord. Wherefore
And that proves that you're going to be destroying one people and saving another.
Yep.
It's not a universal salvation.
Because that land has to be cleansed.
So these are going to be destroyed, but the elect that are in the area or that are in America are going to be delivered.
They're set up to be destroyed. Wherefore thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth into the winepress. I have trodden the winepress alone. So that's the Lord. That's the vengeance of the Lord.
And then Basra is the chief city in Edom.
Yep.
Basra is the chief city in Edom.
I know
unless you know who was talking and said it, but it focused on Basra because Basra was a chief city. That's how basically America.
Yeah, that's that chief city in the world.
Yep.
And
America is basically known as a city.
The golden city.
Yep. And you get that word city from the word citizen.
Yep.
And of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury. And I doubted that if the Lord loves you, He's going to be furious with you. I mean, I really doubt it.
Church is wine press. That means you're going to destroy it.
You press on it, yeah.
Wine press.
You stomp on it.
It's a metaphor for you being destroyed, your blood being shed, you're being taken out of power, you losing your strength, your kingdom, being brought down to desolation.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Again, that's a metaphor for the destruction of the Lord's going to do. Lord ain't really going to sustain his garments. But it's representative of how much, all right, the Lord is really going to do when he returns. Isaiah 66, explaining the Lord shall avenge. He's going to do it through what? Supernatural means, concentrated fire. Great power.
For the day of vengeance is in my heart, in mine heart, and the year of my redeemer is come. So the Lord's gonna rule. Whatever ideas you guys have, vain opinions, that's okay. The Lord's gonna rule. That should be enough.
Precepts? Is it?
Last one.
All right, God, this is Obadiah chapter 1 and 16. It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. This is the punishment, slavery, destruction, and basically ruled over by the Lord's people. And it says, yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Yeah, so like they're not going to be like great as they are now. Like Moab is great, Ammon is great, small hats are great, in power. They're not going to have it. In the NLT it says they're going to disappear from history. So they're no longer going to have that name that they have now. Right. It's going to be all about Yakalba Page and these people.
And they're returning back to their slave positions. Moab, my wash pod.
They're going to be the servants, man. That's it. That's going to be their name forever. Subjects to the rules of King of Heaven, the Israelites.
They're going to be that nightmare that goes away. The whole book is dedicated to them.
Alright, so I'm done with these ways to each. We're going to give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
Double honors unto our elder apostles and elder bishops of great wisdom and well. Party institution around all of the elect. Shalom.